Mike, how's your Steam?
Pretty good.
All right, so Mike's Steam's good. We have Steam, okay? Let's just go.
All right.
Okay. Hello,
God,
welcome
okay?
to Roast Mortem. My name is Tom.
I'm Travis.
I will be your Cody for this evening.
And I'm Mike.
Perfect.
There he is.
It's the bingo hour. It's the bingo hour you've been waiting for. Every Thursday, we come to you with the hottest news about something that happened a long time ago.
All
We
over your
have
chest.
the news for you.
Dude,
The olds.
this is the most E-entertainment episode we're going to be doing, Tom, so I love your charisma.
I shaved my chest for this episode. I put my ass in the sun for an hour and a half, covered in Crisco, just to listen to you talk about this guy.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you did your research, because I sure did too. But before we get into that, how's everyone's week? Was it smooth, creamy, crispy? What are we talking about?
Travis, it's been a fantastic week. I'm so glad you asked. I feel really great. I don't know if I talked to you guys last week about how healthy I am. I'm continuing my health thing. I am growing my shoulders. I'm becoming a man.
Wow.
I'm becoming a leader. And I'm doing it all by physical means. I'm not reading any books. I am just looking more like one.
I mean, the best leader doesn't eat anything besides protein and doesn't read.
Well, maybe that's what I've been doing. Just protein. I've been eating oatmeal in the morning with protein powder mixed into my oatmeals. Because, like, guys, next time I see you, I know we haven't been hanging out because you guys live in the middle of far away.
Yeah.
When you guys get off the airplane and I pick you up at JFK or whatever, I'm gonna pick you up.
Wait, you're going to hold me up like a little baby boy? That's what I always wanted.
Yeah, and if
Wait.
you both come in, I'm ready for both of you. Cody, Travis, one arm, the other arm. Mike's gonna be there taking pictures, promo shit. That's what I'm doing. That's how I've been treating myself.
Do you think will you bring one of those like dad sashes, the little baby sash?
I'm gonna
For
put
me.
you.
Papoose.
I'm gonna put both of you in red dresses.
My dream.
I like where this is going. Kind of.
It's gonna be
hot.
sexy.
Mike,
so
how
that's
many-
what I've been doing.
Mike, how many dresses did you buy this week for this event?
A couple. I'm wearing one right now, but you guys can't see it. I look
No.
real good in it.
Where's the waistline?
Does it have like a nice area for you to rest your pancakes?
Yeah. It holds them real nice.
Yeah, there you go. It's important for a dress.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's a little, air circulation. It's pretty hot out.
Mike, you've been going back to work.
Yeah.
You're an essential worker now. What is that
Essential,
like?
critical, crucial.
Firstly, I
definitely.
salute you. You are a hero.
Yeah.
Kind of like back to normal. It's been actually pretty busy.
You wearing a mask?
I was. Actually, still, yeah, I am when people come in, like customers come, because there's the storefront's not open. You have to, like, help them, like, outside, which kind
Good
of
for you,
blows,
man.
but I don't know, like, I told you guys last week, like, some lady sneezed on the iPad.
Right, but we didn't
Yeah,
get. I didn't. You didn't really paint a picture of what it's like to be back at work now that you're a hero.
I mean, do you guys actually use grip tape anymore, or do you just squeeze someone that has coronavirus because it's so spiky onto your skateboards?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, still use grip tape.
Nah.
But I never squeezed a human onto a skateboard
That's
before.
sad. Okay. I thought you were just gonna be like, I've never hugged anyone. I was
Mike
like,
has
oh,
never
man.
embraced anyone.
The
That's been
saddest.
pretty good. I don't know. I've been.
That'd be hilarious if Mike hugs a bitch and he's like, grip tape would be better.
I will say, there's people that before the quarantine happened. There's a story. This guy didn't know how to apply grip tape, and what you're supposed to do to you get air bubbles if you don't do it right. So he was trying to get the air bubbles out with his hand by rubbing his hand against the grip tape as hard as he
good.
could, and he literally saw it, he just filed his skin down to where he was bleeding all over the skateboard.
Oh,
And I was like, yo, what are you doing? Because I'm trying to get the air bubbles out. And I'm like, you just poke it with the little razor blade. And he was like, oh, it was like a grown man. I couldn't believe it. His hands were literally bleeding.
what a dumb. Cody, what about you?
As a fucking eating Spam fried rice last night. Immensely enjoying it. I'm in my own world.
Hawaii, you have to. The 6 o'clock Spam fried rice.
Oh yeah, it's good. It's a fucking treat. I'm shoveling it down as you do, and then some fucking idiot bitch comes to my back door, not my front door, and it's just like, I'm signing petitions to change our cable provider's monthly rates for the area. And no mask, pokes her head through my like fucking sliding glass door, and I wanted to take the door and just like fucking
Close it.
decapitate her with it because she wasn't wearing a mask. And I'm just, and and she like hands me the clipboard and pen like through the door, and I'm like, oh, thanks. And I literally like take it to my kitchen and hose it down with bleach as she's like watching me and like trying to give her like the dirty eye hint, like,
Fuck off.
you're doing this, yeah. And I fucking scrawl my, I fucking literally just carve nonsense on where I was supposed to sign and give it back to her.
Hey, my name's Dingo Blatterby. I don't want to play so much for cable. Thanks so much for coming by.
Here's the date.
All right.
Some fucking people, man.
So Cody's been infiltrated by the Karangas.
Yeah, if you don't see me on the next episode, maybe I died, but whatever.
ISP providing 5G. to you.
Valuable.
Travis, I usually don't care. So do you guys want to start with the episode?
Dude, I'm in the master and commander here. I am the captain of the ship. You can't start shit without me, so you better ask me how my week is.
All right.
How's your week, Travis?
I'm forcing you to. I'm holding the show fucking hostage.
I like that I still am the editor. So continue, Travis.
You can bleep all this out.
If not, I could ask our other editors. Wick is a fantastic... He takes notes. He knows what's up.
There you go.
Zwick knows that I would send Papa John's after him. But anyway, what was my week? I went to the doctor. I had a checkup. A little checkup on that. Trying to get this little hernia fixed. My organs are falling out of my body. But I went to a doctor, and I think it was one of the most like Portland West Coast doctors I could imagine, because usually when you're a large man, you go to the doctor and they berate you. It's like it's a roast.
Yeah.
And you
yeah.
say
I used to hate that.
Yeah, you say you smoke, and then you're overweight, and they're like, "You ever think about quitting? You ever think about stop eating forever?"
I'm so brutally honest, I hate it.
And I'm like, no, dude, I'm fucking fat. I don't care. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I want to lose weight, but like, you can't fucking shame me into losing weight.
I just see Travis with his ass hanging out of a paper gown. Like, you can't shame me for this.
So I had to, the doctor was fantastic. It was my new primary, but he's also a big chunky dude. So I go in there, I'm automatically on defense mode, because you walk in the doctor, go, I'm sorry, I'm fat, I don't know, it's my genetics, I'm sorry.
Because you're an unhealthy bastard.
Yeah, but you have to go in there apologizing that you're unhealthy, because they're a doctor, right?
Okay.
So I went in there and I'm like, I've had this hernia, I haven't been able to work out, and like, I kind of wish I could work out again. He's like, dude, I don't care, I'm a big chunky guy, this is a body positive space.
Wow.
Yeah, that's so progressive of him. So progressive
look at
that he's
this.
going to kill you by giving you softballs.
No!
What a great dog!
No, because
Fantastic!
because he said that I could talk to the special optician person if I wanted to or whatever.
What are they going to do? Put stockings on you and tell you you're beautiful?
No,
What
he
is
said
this shit?
He said I could be on weight loss pills because that's, whatever. I'm like, I don't want to.
Those don't work.
Yeah, I don't
Take
want to.
Speed. Speed is easy, and you can stay up all night doing cool shit.
I know. Well, that's what I told him. And all right. So he's like, yeah. So he's like, you know what? Don't worry about it. Be fat, like clog your arteries. That's cool. I love it. Me too.
Shit.
But then I'm like, hey, I have some anxiety, right? You guys aren't my therapist, but I have a Xanax prescription.
Yeah.
And he's like, whoa, buddy, Xanax? You're morbidly obese, but I can't give you Xanax.
So what do he give you instead?
I don't know. He just like go smoke weed or something. It's Portland. I'm
right. Oh,
weed
that's
makes
cool.
me die in the Civil War. But
All
no,
right, so Travis, you're going
I'll
clean then.
I'll probably get my Xanax. I just got to meet him again. Be like, trust me, guy. I need this. I need to be calm sometimes.
I need the Xannies.
Sometimes.
Xanians.
But
Wow.
anyway, so
You got to
that,
bring in like a
Tanzanians.
bonsai tree and like butcher it in front of him.
Yeah.
And be like, this is how I come.
yeah, so that was my West Coast doctor's appointment.
Wow. All right. So
Look at that.
Mike's out there being a
That was
hero.
Travis's week.
Cody hates when people ask him to sign petitions to
Don't forget
stop
the rice.
police brutality. Travis just gonna stay fat, and I'm gonna be a different type of hero. I'm gonna be a people's person.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's how I sum it up. That's what
All
I
right.
heard. I don't know. Did you guys hear anything else? That's what I heard.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I don't know.
Travis,
I am a hero, I must say.
I know for a fact because we talk all the time, sometimes before the episodes, and definitely after. We're doing a fun one tonight. So who is on Slabman?
Oh, my God, on slabman.com.
Yes,
I am
yes.
so excited for this. So tonight we are talking about the absolute dregs of modern society.
Oh, yeah?
None other than,
Bill Clinton.
yeah, I mean, he's pretty bad. Kardashians.
Oh, those.
Yeah.
Oh, my favorite.
Those human eels.
KimKSuperstar.com.
So
I'm very excited.
specifically, we're talking about the sperm bank of a man that shot his man cream into one of the most worthless individuals, none
Johnny
other
Sins.
than Robert Kardashian.
Oh, boo that guy for doing the things he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is fun because we're Travis. We don't really do this so much. Where we're using Robert Kardashian as a human springboard to shit on currently living people. And yes, there might be some passe, like Slayer made shirts that said "Kill the Kardashians" or whatever it is.
I like those shirts.
It doesn't matter. It's it's not very punk rock at this point because it's everywhere. But you did research. You didn't just write a slogan.
How
You
do you
did
feel?
real work.
You okay?
I'm not
You
a
okay?
Carrie King. I don't have tribal tattoos on my head. And yeah, this is interesting. We're roasting people that are, we're kind of roasting by proxy people that are still alive and still famous. So I would go tell everyone to share this as much as possible so we get a cease and desist. I'd love
Please.
that. That would make my week.
Oh.
And also to help us cover our ass, I did do research. I'm not just spewing nonsense. And my research came from a guy named Jerry Oppenheimer and his book, The Kardashians, an American Drama. So there we go. Bibliography done. This is a real
Sick.
report.
I get fucking hot when Travis does bibliography.
BuzzFeed doesn't even do that shit.
Nah.
Tom's doing his spaghetti dance over here.
They steal our shirts, though.
We're a smart podcast.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm so smart.
So, without further ado, Robert J. Kardashian was born. Sorry, Robert G. Kardashian. Get those two mixed up because,
The dyslexia.
dyslexia. He was born February 22nd, 1944, in the city of Failure, Los Angeles.
Yeah.
He was born to two Armenian immigrants, Arthur and Helen Kardashian.
Good start. Good start.
People have races.
I'm just
Yep.
going to say, to show their patriotism, and also the fact that February 22nd is none other than G. Washington, G Unit, the man, George Washington, his birthday. So the G stands for George.
Oh,
Great.
Oh, that's cool.
So we got Robert George Washington Kardashian, born to two immigrant parents, and the Kardashian parents were able to climb the social ladder to upper middle class pretty quickly, thanks to a successful and very, very shady company called the Great Western Meatpacking Company.
Ooh, scandalous already.
Yes, we're going to be talking about a lot of meat in this episode.
nice.
And packing of it. Cody, you mentioned you like Spam. Maybe it's born here.
You know how tightly
Whoa.
spacked spam is into that little canister?
I
Yeah.
have several of them,
V-type.
thanks to Cody.
V-tight.
So this Great Western Meatpacking Company was located in California's grimiest, rusting hellhole of a city named Vernon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vernon, the city of Vernon, which is located near L.A. So I kind of think this place is sort of like the inspiration and like the setting of the 80s movie Brazil, where it's just like a bunch of factories and like seeping chemical and biological wastes.
Yeah.
Toxic clouds billowing smoke, you know?
Mike, I highly recommend watching that one.
Yeah.
Danny DeVito or Martin Scorsese or what's the other one?
Terry Gilliam directs
Dana
it.
Duchovny.
Yeah.
I forget the guy who stars in it, but Robert De Niro's in it.
That's the one. Martin Scorsese.
Bob Hoskins in it. Michael Palin. It's a good one.
But
Check it
anyway,
out.
so this toxic wasteland of Vernon, California is a great place to package your steaks and ground beef.
Yeah.
So businesses in Vernon, let's say, didn't operate to health codes. The Kardashians and their competitors were constantly paying off the U.S. Department of Agriculture to turn a blind eye.
Already with it.
Yes.
Some rotting meat.
Yeah, so things from as simple as bumping up the USDA grading on their beef. You know how like it says like choice, select, premium, like those things? They'd be
I
like,
don't even know how that hierarchy goes.
Choice, it sounds like a good choice, but it's actually a terrible choice.
yeah.
Kind of like genuine leather.
Yes.
Right, so Tom, you're saying choice is terrible. They'd take something that's choice and all of a sudden it'd be premium because they paid someone off.
Right.
Great. There's teeth in my meat.
yeah. So other things that they would do, paying off these Department of Agriculture dudes, was they would straight up just tell them to play dumb when their meat was found with tapeworms or infested with maggots.
Ew.
No, just play dumb.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's like a lottery, you know? Like if you're a meat inspector and you go to one of their factories and if they're having a good day, you kind of wish you weren't there. But if they're having a bad day, you know you're going to get paid off.
Yeah, it's like a scratch card.
Scratch off.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
You get excited when you see those maggots, motherfucker.
Oh, yay, that's $1,000 in 1920 money. Hooray!
So this was a pretty gross thing that I found out. And apparently, I think they still do stuff similar to this. I mean, there's not so many pounds that gas their pets. But the Kardashians would go and wrangle up gassed pets from the pound, then render them down in a grinder and sell the paste as animal feed.
No way.
Dog
Really?
eat dog world.
Yeah.
That's still like common practice today.
Recycling.
Yeah, they do stuff like that similar, but nowadays it was literally like back then it was literally they'd go to their local pound and be like, what you got for me? You got a cat? You got 2 dogs?
Give me that Great Dane. I got 80 canes to fill.
Yeah. So that's right. That premium steak that you're feeding little Timmy probably has tapeworm, parts of your long-lost cat Tinkles, and oops, it fell into the lead paint that was being produced right next door to the Kardashian
flavor.
factory.
That's why taquitos have that spice, right, Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you drop them on the floor, it gets all the dust you want.
It keeps you human. We are from the earth, and we shall return to
Builds
the
the
earth.
immune system.
Right.
There you
Why
go.
not remind yourself where you're going later?
Yeah.
Another maggots. You're going to be maggot food.
Full circle,
That
baby.
is true.
Yeah. So the
scary.
competition in Vernon was pretty tough. The Kardashians had to compete with mainly Jewish folks, which made them extremely anti-Semitic. I mean, Armenians already are kind of anti-Semitic. That's a long thing I don't need to go into, but
Nah.
But Travis, I would love you to go into that.
the culture in Armenia is very, I don't like the Jews. Already.
Really believe the Holocaust never happened?
Well, the thing is that Turkish people killed a bunch of Armenian people. They had their own genocide.
Yeah.
But just like Jews,
heard about that,
Armenians are pretty crummy people. How do I know this? I am a Jew, and I have Armenian friends. Crummy people.
Yeah, a bunch of angry tweets were just deleted in draft before you said you were Jewish.
So the Kardashian family was also connected to the Armenian mafia, which I did not know existed, but there was an Armenian mafia.
Well, we all got mafias.
They also were connected to the Italian mafia somehow, because I think kind of it's hard to tell the difference between a Sicilian and an Armenian. So, like, I don't know. They all kind of fit in. Okay, so the Kardashians would use both the Armenians and the Italian mafia to hire thugs to suppress unions using knuckle sandwiches or pasta shooters or whatever the joke.
Chin music.
I don't know too much about Armenia, so I can't make a racial joke about it.
John Peters calling to the show.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah.
So, in a family, usually the oldest brother gets guilted into taking over whatever family business it is. And luckily for Robert, he had an older brother, Tom. So, Tom, also he had a sister, but this is 1940s Armenians, and we're not, that's a woman. It's not taking over the business.
Right. So he had, the family had a bargaining chip. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Nice.
So this took some of the weight off of Robert's shoulders. You know, as a son of an immigrant, he's like, I don't need to take over the business. But he still had immense pressure to succeed. And to Robert's defense, succeed he did. I want to say this before I keep going.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah, Robert Kardashian is not the worst dude in the world. I think he's the definition of a rube. This guy is a stooge. Like, he's just...
I like that.
You know?
It's a good old-timey insults.
Yeah.
Really get me going. You fucking rube, you're a stooge, you're an herb.
Yeah.
I love all that
What
stuff.
the fuck does that shit mean?
You don't even need to worry about it, Mike. You're too young. You'll get it when you grow up.
What kind of answer is that? We're an educational podcast.
A Rube? Was he a Rubik's Cube?
Yeah, he's a Rubik's Cube.
Stooge?
Yeah, he's a Rubik's,
yeah, Rubik's Cube. Yep.
Oh,
You got
Stooge, I can only guess he's a clown. Is he like a fucking, just like a joke then?
He's not...
He's a pushover.
Simp.
He's a simp.
Yeah, he's a simp.
He's
Thanks.
a simp. There we go. Bringing it back to the Zoomers.
Talking to the new generation.
To young listeners
All
out
right,
there.
so Simp Boy, thanks to a bit of black market meat dealing that his father Arthur was able to scam during World War II, because, you know, like, there was rationing and shit going on. Arthur was, like, legitimately had a black market meat scam going on, you know?
How did that work?
It was literally like, guess what? Deborah, your wife is overseas, and you want...
Deborah, your wife is overseas.
Deborah, your wife is overseas in a very progressive 1940s family.
Okay.
You want to feed little Billy potatoes all week? No, you can buy this $60 steak that you can ration, you know, at a deal.
Not a bad deal.
Yeah.
Probably rotting a little bit, right?
What the fuck are you guys talking about? You just pitched a $60 steak to someone in 1940 when a cook steak at a restaurant was $3.
All right.
What the fuck are you talking about?
So he's selling it for 50 cents. There you go. Undercutting.
Okay. Scalping.
He's the original Omaha Steaks.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're okay.
More Outback?
Like, they're okay. They're not that much cheaper than regular steaks.
But if the government asks you what you've been eating, you say apples.
Yeah, exactly.
Oats.
And I think you can write off Omaha Steaks on a business return as like
I can.
expenses.
Thank you for reminding me that I've been doing that.
Yeah. So anyway, Arthur's got this extra cash, and he sends his boys, Tom and Robert, to California Military Academy. So here, Robert excels in school. He was one of those weenies that did every single extracurricular. Everyone liked him. Just like one of
I used
those
to be that
fucking
fucker.
dickheads.
I used to be
Yeah,
one
you're
of
a
those
dick.
fuckers. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
In the 4th grade, you could do extra credit before the school day even started. I did it every day to the point where the teacher one time took it off of my desk too early before I wrote the answer down. And she was just like, "Oh, I'm sorry. You're usually so quick with this." And I'm just like, "I had decaf this morning, bitch."
I can't believe we're friends.
Well,
It's weird. It's weird.
Cody,
right?
I feel like you got like half the equation. Not to say that you weren't like a good guy in high school, but this dude.
I was talking 4th grade shit,
Okay,
but sure.
but this dude actually won Best Dressed, and also
So he's not me.
also
Not
a
me.
good one that I don't think they even do this in yearbooks anymore. Best Overall, Best All Around. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's a typo. He had the best overalls
Yeah,
that he
right.
got best dressed with.
Yeah, back then they wear those little white overalls and do stage plays, you know, singing songs and stuff with little hats on. Best overalls. Robert Kardashian.
Yeah, so like Cody, you got the whole like show up, do the extracurriculars. This guy's like like killing it, like slaying pussies in high school. Like, hey, I'm on the lacrosse team, but I'm also doing. Guess what? I could paint a picture of a penis really good in art school. So good, yay!
Sounds like me in high school.
Yeah,
Well, it does sound like you in high school. It sounds
Drawing
like me in
dicks.
high school too. Who didn't draw penises in high school?
Oh, that's
I got suspended one time for it.
You got suspended for penises?
Wow.
yeah. Tell us about that.
Yeah. Well, I was in junior high, not in high school, but
Tell us
Even
really
better.
quick what happened.
I want to know.
I drew a picture of a parachuting dick because that movie Superbad had just come out, and that was like all the rage at school was like drawing dicks. So
Yeah.
I threw it into a tennis court, and like the supervisor saw it at recess, and like he went in and like picked it up and like brought it to the group of people and was like, "Who drew this? Who drew this? This is disgusting." And like I was like, I drew it. I got detention.
Why'd you confess, Mike?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't at first, but then they narrowed it down to me and my friend Nick, and they started going through my binders and my notebooks.
Dude, this
and
is
they're
that's like
yeah, this ink matches this paper. Like they're trying to go like CSI on me, and I was like, you got me.
that's
These
yeah,
mouth
no.
breathers are not going to look at the ink versus the paper. They're just going to realize that you've been drawing a lot of dicks and accuse you.
Yeah, this teacher straight up like Gestapo'd you. He was like, you'll either give up your friend or you will admit it is you. We will go through all of your documents. We will find there's a penis.
Chances are, if you drew
I mean, it wasn't really wrong.
if you drew an uncircumcised penis, it would have been fine. Okay.
Well, you just be like, that's
Yeah.
free expression,
Yeah.
like, cocksucker.
Yeah, well, I littered.
You
I littered, that's why I
Yeah,
went
that's the
wrong.
only thing he had you on is the littering. But at that point,
littering.
the penis is moot.
Yeah.
Penis is
But
moot.
he didn't care about that. He cared about the drawing more than anything.
you
yeah,
created jobs. You didn't litter.
Yeah.
I was creating art.
There you go.
All right.
For my friends.
So Kardashian's super popular. He's popular with the ladies. He has a thing for Armenian girls. Wow,
Great
I wouldn't
segue.
guess because, he's Armenian.
Sure. So
So there was one thing that Robert always wanted to do, but he couldn't, and that was play football. Robert
Wow.
was a little tiny weenie man who later on in life would wear platform shoes to make himself look bigger.
Oh, nice. He's an
70s.
Armenian.
Yeah, Armenian. So he did play JV football in high school, and he was the quarterback, but he really sucked at chucking around the old pigged skin.
Damn.
So he didn't really pursue it as much as he, wanted to. All right, so
It's going beast mode.
Robert eventually, this was like a primary school for military things. He was at the military school. And then he went to Dorset High School, which he graduated from right when the Vietnam War was kicking off.
Oh, good
Yes.
times.
So he rushed his ass to college to get that deferral. Nothing wrong with that. I wouldn't, I'd probably do the same thing.
Yeah, why not?
So him and his lifelong friend Larry Cranes went to the University of Southern California, USC.
I got accepted there and then didn't go.
How was it not going?
The commute was shorter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Robert was determined to make it on the USC football team, which is one of the best football teams in the country. I'm not into college football, but apparently USC is like one of the big ones.
They're Spartans, I think. Is their mascot.
Yeah. So somehow he managed to get the position of manager. Not the real manager, of course, because this is college football. It's a big deal. They have like professional people come in and manage them and coaches. Just the student manager. So, yeah.
Like an assistant coach kind of thing?
Well,
Or assistant manager?
As one of his friends said, he was the glorified water boy, and he was the prototypical hanger-on position. So he'd just show up and be like, "Oh, you guys did a great job. Can we go out and have a kegger at ladies' fraternity? Kappa, 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 Jamal."
Yeah, ladies' fraternity.
So yeah, he's like a little butt kisser. He wants to hang out with like the football kids, but he's like too much of a short little idiot to do that.
Brown noser.
Yeah.
Brown noser.
But yeah, like this was Robert Kardashian. He was constantly hanging on to more important people than himself, and especially football players. And when it came to hanging on and having a very good friend, he met like the best football player of all time, O.J. Simpson.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
His buddy.
Yeah, buddy, real tight with the juice.
Juice.
So OJ also graduated from USC, and this was a few years before Robert, but they met a little bit later on in life, and they just became little best friends.
I just learned I got accepted into the same college as O.J. Simpson.
Yeah.
That's weird.
O.J. Simpson is an American hero, by the way. We'll probably get into it later a bit more, but
Yeah.
Okay.
he's right
He
up
was
there
good
with
at
Johnny
football.
Sins. Well, he was good at a lot of things.
Good with the neoprene wetsuit.
Great at getting what he wants and getting rid of what he doesn't. So, what? Let's keep going, Travis. I know that's going to come up again, so might as well.
So I talked a little bit about the Kardashian parents and how they are immigrants, and usually when you have an immigrant parents, they try to teach their sons and daughters like the value of a dollar.
Hard work.
Yeah, hard work, the value of a dollar. We came from another country. We're in America. America's capitalist. You got to work for that shit. You know?
Yeah, that's why everyone should marry an immigrant.
Or have an OnlyFans account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of an immigrant.
Working on it.
Yeah, right? Yeah. So they, growing up, Robert and Tom Kardashian, they were never really they were upper middle class, but they never were living this extravagant life, right? They didn't live in the rich part of town. They lived in a nice house. You know, they had things that they needed. But Tom and Rob Kardashian grew up to be the ultimate LA yuppie douchebags.
Oh, cool.
Right? So everything that their parents were teaching them went right out the window. So Tom...
I could see it.
Yeah. Tom takes over the meat packing company because he's the first child. And Robert heads off to become a lawyer. And both of them start buying fancy cars. Rolls-Royce was the one that they loved to cruise around in.
Oh, great. Yeah. Which is stupid because if you know anything about Rolls Royces, you buy those when you have a driver.
Yeah, that's what they're meant. They're meant for a driver.
Yeah. So they would drive the Rolls Royce around?
Yeah, they would drive right around driving the Rolls-Royce.
They take turns.
Oh, there you go. Mike with the solution.
Tommy, you're a driver today. I want to go to the Sliz factory.
Oh, God.
That's like the old spaghetti factory, but for Sliz.
Right.
Which I've never been to an old spaghetti factory. I really should. I mean, it's kind of.
You should. We should do a trip.
Yeah.
You and
That'd
I.
be cool.
Cody, would you like to come? Mike,
Yeah.
Mike,
I
you're
wanna
there.
go.
You're going to be our driver. I'm going to rent a Rolls Royce, and you're going to crash it into something.
I always wanted to crash something.
Well, I mean, the old spaghetti factory is pretty much the most Italian place you can go besides Olive Garden, which is also like Outback, which is authentic.
Did you know the bread is endless there? That's how you know it's a real Italian
Yeah.
place.
So
It's not the watermelon they serve.
these two yuppies, Tom and Robert, would buy designer clothes, the Rolls Royce. They'd hit all the hot spots in L.A. with their friend O.J. Simpson in tow, or I guess they were in tow of O.J. They also, the two brothers, rented a Beverly Hills bachelor pad together, and they were one of L.A.'s most eligible bachelors on the prowl for that, what I mentioned before, the Sliz, at the Sliz factory.
What, is that like a documented thing? Was that a contest? Like most eligible bachelor?
I don't know.
Oh, that's, always. That's like in the gossip fucking column.
Yeah, this
It's
is-
just like, this guy's rich. Suck his dick. Maybe you might get some of his rich.
Yeah,
He'll send you home.
this is like the 60s, 70s. Like, there's really nothing to report on. Like, besides Vietnam, there's nothing going
Yeah.
on. There's nothing, absolutely nothing.
The Vietnam
pet
stuff
duck
gets
had a
boring.
goofy shit.
Yeah.
So did I miss it? Where are they getting all the monies for Sliz and Rolls Royces?
So the
Meatpacking.
Kardashians had a lot of money, like the family did, but
Okay.
they were frugal with it. They were smart, you know. I mean, it might be
I got
shady money, but they're not dishing it out, willy nilly. And the second Tom takes over the business, he's just like, all right, bro, here you go, Rolls Royce for you. And now Robert Kardashian's a lawyer, so he's making money,
Okay, gotcha.
Right.
But then disaster hits the Kardashian family.
Oh, no.
No.
Mamma mia.
In the early 1970s, in the early 1970s, federal prosecutors began to scoop out the shady dealings and health code violations in Vernon, California. where the scummy company Great Western Packing was, Kardashians. So on March 19th, I wrote 1674. That's not the right date. 1974.
Are you sure? Okay.
March 19th, 1974, the hammer came down, and the FBI went to the Great Western Packing Company, cuffed 33-year-old Tom Kardashian, and arrested him because he offered bribes to a USDA inspector.
Oh, fuck.
I will never not think the word packing is funny.
It's good. It's innocuous, but when like a grown-ass man says it, it's implicative. Like we have so many synonyms at our use for packing, unless it means what you implying it to.
Yeah. Also, it's like this guy. Like I just imagine, like the whole scene is just funny, even though there's no comedy written into it. It's like, hello, we're from the government. We're here to see how the packing's been. The guy's like, you should step this way right now because we have the finest packing that you could see in all the packing industries. And they're just talking about packing with a hard P the entire time.
Yeah, you gotta pack it up.
Yeah, man, you gotta pack it up. And then
Make
they're
sure
like,
there's packing in it.
and the end of it is just like, you're going to jail because your packing was done wrong.
I feel like every time you said it, like my brain snapped back to like 14-year-old boy self, and I had like a little giggle in my head.
Yeah, because I'm pretty much a child in my head sometimes. I'm an adult child. I'm irresponsible and
Why do we have a podcast, man?
Dude, I just bought
right?
I bought a dagger, and the hilt is a penis, which I'm still waiting for.
Dagger.
that's very fun.
Yeah. So this arrest was a huge hit on the family. Robert was especially rattled. I mean, it didn't happen to him, but he felt like he needs to make some changes in his life. Big changes. He needed to wash away all the sins committed by his family. And it just so happened that in the 1970s, it was the height of the conservative movement called the Jesus Movement.
What? I've never heard of this.
Yes, the 1970s Jesus Movement. And Robert would become one of their biggest followers.
Oh, yeah, there was a lot of Jesus stuff happening in the 70s because that was kind of like a reply to the whole hippie movement.
Yeah.
Because the hippie movement was just a bunch of retards going, free love, free this, free that, outside thinking, but with no direction whatsoever.
Right.
So then people who grew up with conservative parents who glommed onto that for a few years were like, they felt like they didn't have any direction. So it was prime for a lot of people to like go be Jesus folks.
Yeah, so we're going to talk a little bit about the Jesus movement, but before we do, I kind of just wanted to talk about what happened to Tom Kardashian because, man, this guy lands on his dick, if you know what I mean. In a good way. Like, you land on your dick in a good way.
Yeah.
How? I can't imagine.
Don't worry about it.
Unless it's like you're landing on an open vagina, it usually ends in
Tom,
bad.
Cody, words are meant to be broken. That's the catchphrase that I made. Now.
Okay.
Words are made to be broken. God damn.
So I actually wrote a great thing here. Another words are meant to be broken moment in my script. As they say, shit always lands on its 2 feet. So Tom, he pled guilty to a felony. He pled guilty to a felony to avoid jail time. So he's like, "Oh, you got me. I'm not going to jail. Oops." Now, boo-hoo, he's marked as a felon, right?
He's a felon. Okay.
Somehow, he ended up becoming president of Public Storage. Yeah, a felon, right?
Okay, sure.
And in 1993, the Kardashians were somehow able to give the right political tuggies, and George H.W. Bush pardoned Tom Kardashian, wiping his felony clean.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God that a clean American who's just packing.
Yep.
I pack stuff all the time. Yeah. You'd be surprised what you fit into a box.
Well, man.
Whole big deck.
The whole deck, yeah. You working at a skate shop, you've probably put a lot of decks, packed a lot of decks into boxes.
A big veiny deck.
Yeah. Big deck energy.
Oh, yeah. 10 inches wide sometimes. Too big for the box. Stretches it out, and I fucking hate that.
Yeah, and then somebody needs to use the box later, and they're like, wow, it's too stretched out. Gotta throw this out.
It's usually me. I jump into the dumpster.
Yeah. Ooh, man.
Little dumpster dive after work.
Dumpster's a box in itself.
Yeah. Sorry,
I got you guys off course.
Hard box.
Oh, it's okay, Mike. I mean, look, man, we're all distanced out. We're all packing our voices over the broadband right now, and
work too well,
sometimes
that
you
one.
got to pack it in there, and it's not really a cutting off. It's just who gets there first.
So,
If you don't pack it, it moves around in the box. Your meat, you need to pack your meat
That's why the
tight.
bubble wrap comes in handy.
so just to keep this conversation relevant, because Tom, because Mike, thank you for telling me that he was a simp. What is a simp? I don't understand. He's a rube. He's a goof. So can you guys name what human skid mark of a man gave George Bush Sr. the list of pardons that he eventually pardoned in 1993 that included Tom Kardashian?
Roy Cohn.
No.
that would be my guess. Too.
No. You got one? Mike?
I have no idea.
It wasn't John Sins.
Not Johnson? It beats me.
It was none other than the baby from the sitcom Dinosaurs, George Bush's Attorney General, William Barr.
Oh, I almost knew that one. It was on the tip of my tongue.
He's been in the news.
Same.
Well, congratulations, Mike. You have
Learned a lot.
So anyway, Tom Kardashian went on to become a business guru, coaching presidents and CEOs how to run their business. Because it's great to get advice from an ex-felon that was literally cuffed out of their own business.
What's that, guru?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, so back to Robert. So good old Robbie stumbled his way right into the Jesus movement of the 1970s.
Okay.
Now, this was pretty much the beginnings of the conservative right that unfortunately has become the oligarchy of America today.
whatever.
Yeah, no jokes here. No jokes there.
You're not wrong.
Interestingly enough, this whole movement didn't start with Jesus-fearing Bible thumpers. It started with rich elites of Hollywood that started this whole mess that we have nowadays. Robert was born again and baptized in the Pacific Ocean at Calvary Chapel in Costa Mesa.
Costa Mesa, you are obviously not West Coast enough.
Yeah. It's a mesa, it's a mesa, whatever.
You're a mesa.
I'm from
You're
New York.
a goddamn mesa.
I'm
That's
a
what your
fucking
doctor should have
mesa.
told you.
So now that he's been baptized in the Pacific, he can slap that shitty silver fish on the back of his silver Rolls Royce.
God damn it.
Rolls Royce, which he did. He would always rock the fucking goldfish.
Oh, I hate the fish.
cars.
I hate knowing that an ocean was ruined by that Kardashian. Like, every time I go to the beach, it's just like, God damn it, a Kardashian's been in this.
So the Jesus movement was really the brainchild of Reverend Chuck Smith. Like as you kind of mentioned before, Tom, the goal was to lure in liberal hippies of the late 60s with a fresh, new, conservative, evangelical Christian rock and roll take on the whole religion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of cults started. That's and those that were not cults were just religious born-agains.
Yeah. So as they called the Reverend, Papa Chuck would preach in Hawaiian shirts and replace the whole church organ with electric guitars.
That's me.
Oh, cool.
That's what I do all the time. I just haven't found Christ yet.
Papa Tom.
Do me a favor and never find Christ. Stay cool.
Alarming to hear. I got to really watch out, make sure I don't become a religious leader.
Yeah, so little Papa Chuck, he's doing what Tom's doing, pretty much Tom's modern day Papa Chuck. But he's doing all this shit. He's like, yeah, man, peace, love. We all love this shit. I'm like, you could smoke weed and like have electric guitar. It's cool. The church likes it.
Yeah, that's cool.
But no sex before marriage. Homosexuals are terrible and they're from Satan. And I'm going to predict some shit about the Armageddon that's going to happen in like 5 years.
Hey, the psychopath.
Yeah.
We can't prove him wrong.
Well, we're still here, so the
Yeah.
Armageddon shit didn't. We can prove him wrong.
Well, I mean,
Past 5 years
whatever.
later.
Whatever.
Yeah. So Chuck had a whole bunch of pastors that would help him spread the word. Kardashian's pastor in specific was named Ken Gullinson, who was Norwegian.
Oh.
And he ran a church called the Vineyard Church. That's a very yuppie name for a church. And his church was filled with yuppies. So, yeah.
Hot.
Oh, I can't stand those.
Well, that's what
He would al-
that's what I want. If I was to become that religious leader, I don't want poor people there. I want
What does
people
he
who are
stand
going to
for?
donate shit because I need a new bench. I need a bush that's taller than the other bush that I want to replace. I need clothes. I need things. I need 7-string guitars so I can go, do you like Korn, the band? You
Jesus
understand?
was in
It makes
Korn.
sense. That's a great demographic is all I'm getting at.
Yeah, so not only that, he would hold special sermons for members only in the backs of some of the hottest clubs in the San Fernando Valley, Brentwood, Beverly Hills, and Santa Monica. It's all just like very elite neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Members only.
And his crowning achievement, actually, was bringing the Jewish professional mumbler, Bob Dylan, into the evangelical movement.
Look at that.
So for a short little while, Bob Dylan was like, yeah, I'm born again. I don't know. Or it was like, I'm born again. Yeah. So, all right. So Kardashian's getting indoctrinated into this Jesus club when he meets the woman that would forever change his life. Which,
Jesus? Was the woman Jesus?
the woman was, it was Jesus, but he was tucking it in.
Okay. That's awesome.
Oh, radical.
So here's where things get, here's where things get very interesting because, as we mentioned at the top of the show, we usually roast dead people. We're going to really dig hard into someone that's alive, and that is Robert's first wife. And in her memoirs entitled Kardashian Confidential, Mortal Kombat style.
Oh, it
course.
alliterates.
Yeah.
She
with
must
the
have,
K
like-
for confidential.
Yeah, there must have been so much friction between the two brain cells that to happen.
Well, anyway, she refrains from mentioning any of the real names of the people that she cheated on or were involved in the affairs. And she came up with like a different name. And this was, I'm sure, for legal reasons. But it's kind of stupid legal reasons because these men were well known and had openly come out and said, like, yeah, this happened with their real name. You know what I mean? So it's not like they're hiding anything.
Yeah,
Right.
No doxing is happening.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take a page right out of the Kardashian Confidential and refer to Robert's first wife as none other than Cunt Kardashian.
Oh,
spelled with a K, of course.
Protect her identity, of course, right?
Yes.
Oh,
So Cunt Kardashian's maiden name was Cunt Hunton, and she
so
grew
her
up.
entire name would be Cunt Huntin'?
Yes. Cunt Hunton.
Well, I mean, don't Google that last name, guys.
Oh,
Or
yeah,
Kardashian at the same time, because then you could be treading in hot water.
You don't want
Yeah.
to gossip, right?
So she grew up in San Diego. Right now, we're going to go back into her origin story because it's really the culmination of these two that make everything. So she grew up in San Diego in a lower middle class family. Her father walked out when she was young, but her childhood was nothing bad. It wasn't good. It was just normal, right?
Sure.
Nothing to report about.
That's good, actually. By all accounts, that's good.
yeah,
normal is good.
Right, you have a normal childhood. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
You'd hope for that.
You did
That's what
it.
you want.
Yeah, you didn't get molested. You didn't get beat up by angry drunk dad drinking the finest Rolling Rocks. That's good.
Yeah, good job. So the thing about Cunt was that she had a plan after graduating high school, and she needed to start in high school, of course, because you got to. when you're talking to your counselor in high school, you have to make sure you have a goal, right?
Yeah,
To
counselor
work
goes,
towards
hey, cunt, what do you think about doing with your life?
it. Yeah. So you see, cunt was very attractive. Not overly, but enough to grab the attention of men, especially older men. She had a thing for older men, right? She never had a boyfriend in high school, but she was saving her romance for the golf course.
Clever girl.
Yeah. So, cunt would be described best as a golf groupie.
Golf groupie, wow.
I've never heard that.
Yeah.
Very
It sounds boring.
astute.
So she would hang around the country clubs and try to fuck the richest, most influential person on the green.
Yeah.
Take that back.
Yeah.
Wait, was that implied to you, Mike? Did you not infer that?
I thought she was just hanging out. Like, it wasn't just playing golf. She was just like, you know.
I don't think she's playing golf herself.
You know, she's touching balls. But,
Yeah, she's washing balls on the green.
So her local country club in San Diego was a place called Rancho La Casa. And it was a very shady one. This one was run by Mo Dalitz, who was known as the godfather of Las Vegas. So a very connected person with the family. You know, the Italian family.
Yeah, okay.
Familia.
Yeah, this rancho was a place that was a haven for criminals across America. They'd make deals on the green, right? And cunt is there practicing her pre-high school diploma strokes for all these mafioso.
I see what you did.
Fantastic, yes.
So cunt graduated in 73, and her and her friend decided to fly to Hawaii to go hop on the PGA Tour.
Oh.
That's where the
Oh,
best
nice.
golfers are, right?
Yeah, the longest
Richest
strokes.
golfers.
So there she is, 17 years old, and she tries her strokes out on 28-year-old Caesar Sanudo, or as she refers to in her memoirs, Anthony, which has nothing to do with Caesar. And Caesar was literally like, yeah, this person was a bitch, right? But she just called him Anthony.
Anthony, easy.
So Caesar claimed that she told him she was 21, and to his defense, she probably did, and she looked very mature at age 17. I saw a few pictures. I'm like, yeah, okay.
So you're saying Caesar is a dirty pervert
Yeah. Yep.
who needs to be in jail forever? He needs to be fired to jail?
Canceled. Life canceled to jail.
Okay, let's cancel that bitch to jail forever.
So anyway, the two become a couple, and cunt quickly moves into Caesar's L.A. apartment. Now, Caesar was an up-and-coming golf star and spent most of his time on tour around the world in the PGA, right? So this left cunt all the time in the world to slut it up all over town.
Slut it up. Okay.
Yeah, you
heard
dick
that
down or you
before,
slut
but
up, man.
Yeah.
Got it.
So I think she realized at some point that Caesar really didn't have that much money. He lived pretty modestly. They lived in a condo. He had a kid already.
He slept in a hammock. He made his own eggs every morning. It was one egg because you could get 12 in a pack. Why splurge?
Lasted like 12 days, I think.
Yeah, exactly. He got free shoes. They all had spikes at the bottom of them.
Well, modesty was not a thing that cunt was particularly good at. Oh yeah,
Gross.
Who is this mystery woman?
dude, I'm not telling.
Ugh.
Secret.
Rude. I
Shit,
might have to look
secrets.
this up.
You might have to look it up. It
Yeah.
starts with a K as well.
No,
don't worry.
I understand. I
I
wrote that. Mike, can you text me who it is? I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Travis, continue.
So with cunt in her late teens, she bumps into 30-year-old Robert Kardashian.
Whoa.
She's dating Caesar at the moment, living in his house. And they meet at the Del Mar Thoroughbred Club, a horse club.
Gross.
Horse club?
Horse club.
There's a horse
Tom,
club?
You love horses.
No, I don't. I just
Get a yes and.
here's my yes and to you. Horses are for stupids.
Dude, I love horses.
No,
What's wrong
no.
with horses? I don't like seeing them
I
race.
think horses are cool.
Look,
I like horses.
I don't hate horses. I don't think that they're
was
like
a horse
they're not
hater.
cats, but they're terrible.
Wait, are you saying cats are worse than horses right now?
Yeah,
Sir, are we
absolutely.
going to have a fight, sir?
Yes, we are. Come reach me, dude. You know I've been working out. You know I'm
Dude.
buff as fuck at the moment.
He'll
Come on that
lift you up
plane.
at the
I'll
airport.
lift you up and I'll slam you if you come over here.
I'm larger than you. You might be at a bottom stair, and I'll come falling down the stairs harder and hit you and kill you.
I will move. I
Let's
will jump
doctor.
over you. I will do a kickflip. I will borrow Mike's
Dude.
kickflip. I will borrow a board that he gives me.
Tom, don't worry about it. My body takes up the entire end pass, so there's going to be no way for you to jump over me because guess what? I'm like the blob falling down the stairs, and you're dead.
I'm like Indiana Jones. As
Dude,
you roll down the hallway, you're going to roll down the hallway, come after me, scream about how cats are good, and I'm going to go, I got a skateboard that Mike gave to me, and I'm escaping.
Indiana Jones does not have a
Indiana
skateboard.
Jones.
He just doesn't have a skateboard, but if there's a old refrigerator nearby, I concede you might win.
There might be
Moving
that.
on.
I don't like
fuck
cats.
is
Everyone
going
else on
on?
the podcast likes cats. I don't like cats. So horses are not great, but not as bad.
There's got to be a
So-
porno. There's got to be a
So-
porno entitled "Indiana Jones."
There is.
There
It's
is.
Indiana Jones in the Temple of Poon.
Yep. Yep.
I thank you.
Watch it later.
It was a little bit before Johnny Sins was performing, but I'm sure he's seen it. He studies.
He studies. He's a
He's
he knows the class.
Studious man.
So
On the show
Kardashian,
so bad.
please, I'd love to hang out with Johnny Sins. Kardashian was kind of the gaudy, flashy man of her dreams. He drove a Rolls Royce. He had a house in Beverly Hills. He wore Gucci loafers with 2-inch lifts on them. And he looked like
Hey.
Tony Orlando.
Who's that?
I don't know, some guy in the 70s. He had Robert Kardashian in the 70s had long hair, very hairy. Armenians are super hairy.
John Peters calling to the show.
Yeah, right. Like I'm talking about like full bush on his chest, like you couldn't see his nipples anymore.
Hot.
Kardashian hit her up with the panty dropping line, and here's the exact line.
What you got?
You look exactly like a girl I used to go out with. Where do you live? What's your name?
I was expecting more, but I'm somehow not unimpressed.
Dude, it's terrible.
It's actually worked for me several times.
It's
so
very to the point,
I
though.
can't hate. Yeah, you look like
You know
someone
what I
I
mean?
used to date.
It's so to the point. If it fails, zero effort was put in, so it's just a wash. You know what I mean? If I went to like my fucking like writer's desk and like came up with like a fucking pickup line for like 9 weeks and it didn't work, that's a fucking tragedy. But because it's so simple, if it didn't work, it was just like, all right, I'll use it on the next bitch behind.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. It's like, okay, whatever. You look like a girl I used to go out with. But who walks up to someone you don't know and you're asking, where do you live? That's the weird part in my mind.
It's not weird,
Yeah.
man. Back then, that's like everyone used to send each other letters.
That's weird.
No, they have
Yeah.
phones.
No, I used to send letters.
They have car phones.
Maybe he wanted to stalk
There
her,
was
Travis.
actually... So Cunt actually plays a little hard to get, and she doesn't give Robert her phone number. So Robert is like hooked up and connected enough where he talks to a friend that works as an operator and gets her phone number at the house
That's
at
slimy.
Caesar. Yeah,
Yeah.
that Caesar owns. So he's like, literally, I'm gonna go to the system and like hack your system, find your phone number.
All right.
Okay.
It's weird.
Bad.
This guy is a creep.
Yeah. So anyway, the whole sex before marriage thing hadn't really soaked in yet with the born again Kardashian, because at this point he's born again. And soon the two of them were fucking all over town, usually ending up back at Caesar's condo right on his own bed while he was on tour.
Great.
Well, that's pretty normal for LA stuff, you know.
Yeah, that's how they do.
Yeah.
So there was only one issue with Cunt and the fact that, like, you know, she's getting involved with Kardashian. And that was the fact that she was still involved with Caesar, right? And while she was getting that Armenian anal from Kardashian, she had to go to all these events with Caesar. Like she went to the British Open
With a
She
man
go
who
do
smells
golf
like creamy dressing with a dash of anchovy. Oh, my.
stuff. Yeah.
How are we going to turn this story around? How are we going to make this a true love story of the L.A. types?
So Robert asked Cunt to go to his housewarming party in his new Beverly Hills villa that he rented. But oh no, she has to go to the British Open. So Cunt stands up Kardashian and heads out on the trip to Caesar to the British Open. Now, Caesar, he's 28 or so. He has a kid already.
Oh,
He gets the bright idea to ask Cunt to marry him. So, of course, what can she say? She says yes. The two of them get engaged in
Gross.
Britain.
Wow. That's really great. I'm happy
cute.
for them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
good.
me too.
A real good woman for your life. Mm-hmm. She actually leaves the British Open early so her hubby could concentrate on the tournament. She boards the plane in Europe and heads back to LAX, where Robert is waiting for her in his Rolls Royce with 24 roses.
Oh,
That is also cute.
Yeah. It's all just cute.
If for somehow Caesar knew about it, that would be even cuter.
Yeah. So Cunt jumps right into the arms of Kardashian, and they whisk off to go bang somewhere in his new Beverly Hills pad. So in Cunt's memoirs, she mentions that Caesar cheated on her. In reality, and we know this through mentions that Caesar said, when she was calling him Anthony, Caesar was like, no, this is exactly what happened. He came home early one day expecting to find, his soon-to-be wife there. But instead, he saw a hairy midget named Robert Kardashian wrist deep into his fiancée in the master bedroom.
Wow. That's very, very intense.
Daring.
Yeah.
So
She rolled up a shag carpet and stuck it inside of her.
I was thinking about one of those koosh balls, right?
Oh,
You
God.
remember those?
Ew. Yeah, they felt
Those always
terrible.
smelled weird. It smelled weird.
That's like dry spaghetti.
Yeah. So, as Caesar, who usually was a very family-friendly guy, like a lot of his friends were like, I'd never heard this dude curse before. Like, he had a kid when he was young, right? He became dad mode super quick.
Yeah.
They said that he said this, right? I found the bitch in bed with the sleazy Armenian. I could have killed that motherfucker. And he nearly did. So Kardashian, who was never really a fighter, he was always like a bitch boy.
Yeah,
right?
he
Like,
is.
No,
Yeah.
don't touch me, my Gucci loafers.
Oh, he's still wearing them mid-fuck?
Probably.
Totally
He's probably one of those-
naked, just
No.
the loafers on.
I would.
Yeah, he's probably one of those people that fuck with socks on. They're weird.
Hey,
Oh, God. Mike,
keep your feet warm.
Mike, you're my cousin, so don't get into it.
So anyway, apparently he threw Robert Kardashian out the second-story window.
Yeah, it's
While
called
he-
defenestration.
Yeah, while he was putting his pants on. And then immediately turned to Cunt and kicked all of her shit out, and there you go. Romance is born. Robert and Cunt Kardashian begin.
Wow.
Gorgeous.
It's amazing. This is a tale as old as time. Something about a midget. Yeah, no, the way you described him there, I couldn't imagine a more gross person. A 5'2" hairy lawyer
Yeah.
who wants to fuck your wife.
Yeah, but he's suave, though. He's wearing Gucci.
Yeah, but I don't know. I've seen guys with really dumb shoes on. They didn't make me want to fuck them.
I know, right?
Okay.
Wait, those limited edition Nikes, you want to suck my nuts?
What do you think Johnny Sins
Yeah.
wears?
It's
Crocs?
uncomfortable.
He's probably barefoot all the time
Yeah, I don't think he wears
yeah.
shoes.
for real traction.
All right, so we got to keep up the Cunt act, or we want to get fucking sued. Do I want to just go skip back to what her name is?
Whatever. It's
Tom.
all good. It's your call.
Yeah, I'm fine. I don't care.
Who's the roast mortem lawyer? I know we have a doctor and a nutritionist. Is
What am I
Mike's
again?
our lawyer?
I think, Tommy, I think you're the lawyer. You're Jewish.
Wait,
Yeah,
what?
he's Jewish.
Wait, was
Never
I?
go to jail.
Who was the nutritionist? That was Travis.
That's Travis. He was your yeah.
Right. Yeah, I forget our roles. So yeah, I'll go with lawyer. Okay, from here on out, the rest of the audio heard in Roast Mortem Podcast will be informational satire, which means that you must decipher yourself. Could this be information
There you go.
that is entirely true? Or is it information that is maybe a little bit just fun? Just a bit of fun.
Well, I'm just saying, blame Jerry Oppenheimer, who wrote the book.
It's fine. I don't care. I would love to get sued by a famous person.
Me too.
Because I don't have anything, so it would be a tremendous waste of their time.
So, cunt, capital K, cunt.
Kris Kardashian.
Yes. If you didn't know, it's Kris Kardashian.
Yeah.
With a K.
I like the cunt bit, but let's,
All right. So, Kris Kardashian caught Robert at, well, it's Chris Hutton at this point. She caught Robert at a weird time in his life because he was just starting to sip that Jesus juice. And it was about to kick in. So anyway, Robert...
I just like that deities have a kick-in phase. You know what I mean? You kind of got to go to church like 2 or 3 times before the Jesus really kicks in.
when you say he's going through a weird time, immediately in my head I go, he's waiting to decide which dick he's going to cut off to see which one's weaker, so the other one can really get big, like a fucking sunflower.
Tom, that's a little bit of foreshadowing to Kris Kardashian's second lover. But
I mean, that is a hilarious story of,
we'll get into it.
Of manly womanhood.
Yeah, well, we'll get into it a little bit. But so anyway, he's in a weird moment, right? He's getting his head around becoming this evangelical Christian, but he's like bragging about how good of a lay Kris Kardashian is. Like, oh yeah, she sucked my knob real good.
I'm having sex with a 17-year-old. I'm a hairy 40-year-old.
Yeah, she's 17 years old, or 18 at this point. Just barely legal. We go to the porn sites and it says barely legal. This is like barely legal, but you might get in trouble if you go to that website.
So barely legal.
Yeah, barely legal.
Okay.
So Robert's walking around. He's spoiling his new teenage arm candy. They're fucking like rabbits. And Chris's whole MO that she set up with her guidance counselor in high school, I'm sure, was to marry rich and have 6 kids. Exactly 6 kids. What she did. This is what she laid out in her memoirs. I need to have 6 kids.
That's crazy.
I've accomplished my goals.
Half dozen. Let's go. Yeah, that's what her vagina sounded like.
Walking down the stairs. Robert.
Or whoopee cushion.
5, 6.
Please, Robert, don't forget to get the hired work to take out the trash.
So Chris is living with Robert at this point in his Beverly Hills house. Then Robert's like, hey, instead of hitting the nightclubs, do you want to head over to this extra cool spot called the Vineyard Church? Like, I know a guy, he says some really cool things about Jesus.
Cool thing sayer.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So Robert brings his new girlfriend to church, and he's keeping his fingers crossed. Like, oh, I bet Chris is gonna see the light of the Lord. She's gonna go in the old Christian dunk tank and fucking see the light.
Yeah, shove an apple into her mouth.
So Robert's pastor Ken, we talked about him, comes up to him. He's like, "Hey, Robert, I noticed you've been gloating to all the other members about how good it is to stick it in the 17-year-old pussy. Guess what? You're Christian now, and I know we have rock and roll orgy people that are here, like Bob Dylan, but it's not cool if you're living with this girl, and you probably shouldn't be having sex because sex before marriage is a sin. So come on."
How did you not know? You dumbass. How did you not know I was going to have this ass backward talk about his penis?
Yeah.
Leave it out of there.
Leave it out of there.
Leave it out.
That's
on,
Jesus' catchphrase. Leave it out.
Just leave it out of there.
Leave
Don't
it out.
worry. Get married.
Just leave
have
it out.
6 kids. Make your kids the best.
So the very next day, Robert asked Chris if she could get her own apartment and said it wasn't God's will for them to live together. Now, this doesn't make her very happy because let's just say you can't call a leech without calling him a leech.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And if she wasn't attached to her victim, she couldn't bleed them dry of all their money. Right, so...
How unfortunate.
Yeah, so this was not going to work out. She moves into a little apartment, and eventually the two split up.
Oh, no.
But Chris wasn't ready to give up on her money fucking coin land.
Oh, hell yeah.
Coin land.
What the
Coin?
fuck?
What are you saying?
Was that off the cuff?
Coin zone.
Coin zone. Yeah,
Meal
Chris
ticket?
Kardashian. Chris
Purse
Kardashian
strings?
is basically a little hairy Mario. She's jumping. Get his coins jumping up. Mushrooms. Those are dicks. Up and down.
Well, you know
Mushroom
when
Kingdom.
Yoshi. I need a Yoshi to carry me because I'm a baby Mario.
Well, here's the thing. Like, if you're playing Mario and you hit that block that just keeps shooting coins out, you're not going to move on until it stops shooting coins out.
Of
Good
course.
analogy.
I am not going to even argue with that logic. I think that she knows what she's doing because she's from LA.
Yeah, so, all right. So, Chris becomes a stewardess on American Airlines. That was back when it was crazy glamorous to have that job. You had to have big-ass
right.
titties. You had to be a certain weight. There was no, like, sexual discrimination thing that they have now. Like, you had to be a hot
I honestly
bitch.
wish they still did that. I am for men being able to do it, but they have to be homosexual men. Because
Sassy.
I think those are some of the best stewards.
they're great stewards. Yeah, they're a bunch of Stewart biggies or whatever. But like the only people who are looking for sexual attention on a plane or sexual eye candy are men in general. So you need mostly hot bitches and you need a few gay men.
Well, the gay men can relate to your wife when you're talking about tools.
Oh, yeah.
So, like,
The
the guy
wife doesn't
next to
care.
you,
The women don't care. They're not there to be entertained on a plane. They're not. They think of it as like transport. Guys need more entertainment. So we have gay people who travel. They need to see these gay guys. It's great. I love it.
Right. So Robert, while they're on their little hiatus, Chris and Robert, he starts dating none other than Priscilla Presley, Elvis's ex-wife.
Wow. Naked Gun. Yeah, dude. This is great.
Yeah, so Robert was a huge Elvis fan, and he was more than excited to talk about to his friends about how he's getting Elvis's sloppy seconds.
Yeah.
Because, again, like, he's religious, but then, like, when there's a new lady, he's like, I put my nuts inside of her mouth.
Religion, what's that?
Priscilla was a little bit closer to Robert's age, and he thought, hey, this is good wife material. Like, I got to make her a wife. This is a wifey.
Wifey material.
So Robert's like, let's settle down. I want to start a family. Priscilla wasn't that type of woman. I mean, she'd been with Elvis, right? Like,
When you're with Elvis, you know what it's like to have a fat piece of shit lay on top
Yeah.
of you, so you can deal with anything.
You know what fried banana sandwich breath smells like mid-coitus.
so Robert expected her to cook him breakfast, clean, do all those like menial 50s housewife tasks, because he's like this like crusty old Armenian at this point. Like,
Right.
well, this is what we do in old country. You will clean, get roaches out of my shoe.
He's got like Armenian.
Jesus.
There's a touch of Middle Eastern there. It's Eastern
Yeah.
European. They got that fucking like I'm gonna take my shirt off all the time in the house. I'm gonna wear like no belt.
Yeah.
Like I gotta have too much gold.
We've all seen Salt Bae. Like, that man just oozes machismo, but I don't think he's the most progressive person.
Where's he from? He's from Turkey, right?
He's from Turkey, which is like where Armenia is, roughly.
Oh,
It's like
boy.
they're neighbors.
Well, Turkey killed all the Armenians
Yeah,
in a genocide that they still to this day do not recognize.
Well, yeah.
So
Neighbors.
that's fun. But also, our Turkey isn't the prime exporter of entertainment, so no one knows that.
So, anyway, Priscilla Presley was not about getting involved. Like, he brought her to the church. She's like, I don't know about this. It's kind of creepy. You're weird. I'm not going to cook you breakfast. I hate cooking breakfast. Elvis had a kitchen staff that would make him this weird shit. Like, I didn't have to do this. So the two broke up a little bit over a year. Chris Kardashian swooped back in. She transferred to L.A. She was originally stationed out in New York with American Airlines, and she was like, "Nah, I'm going back to L.A. I'm gonna get this dick and this money,
That coin.
Yeah, those coin days.
Smart.
coins, those
do that.
Kardashian coins was spelled with a
It's
K."
before. Yeah, this is pre-Bitcoin. It's Dick coin,
Dick
Yeah.
coin.
which is okay.
Tip coin. I like tip coin.
So this time, Chris smartened up and played ball. She's like, "All right, we don't need to have sex, whatever. As long as I'm with you, I love you."
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And there were many, many obvious hints. You know, her going to various L.A. jewelry places of her sizing up wedding rings. She's very, like, this is the one I want. You should get this one. It's great.
Oh, hint, hint.
Hint. So the two got engaged and got married. Now, a Kardashian marriage was officiated the Kardashian marriage was officiated none other than Ken Gillison, the pastor that I talked about,
Okay.
at the Westwood United Methodist Church. And this
Congratulations, Mazel Tov.
this was one of those like Michael Bay production level of weddings, right? There was
Yeah.
like a official camera crew there. You know, everyone's like, "How are you paying for this, Robert?" He's like, "I don't know. I'm not even really a good lawyer. Like, I work at a firm." Right. So Tom was his best bro, and
Well, yeah, of course. This guy sounds like he doesn't have any friends. He
Well-
probably had to pay his brother to be his best friend. Best
yeah,
man.
right. Well, one of his groomsmen was none other than the Juice, O.J. Simpson.
All right,
you
he's
go.
a really likable
Wow.
guy. He really is a likable guy.
Yeah.
He seems friendly.
Yeah, I would love to talk to that guy.
Be on our show, OJ.
Yeah, get OJ on.
Yeah, we need more celebrity guests that we don't know,
Yeah, right.
like in person. Oh, wow, first time meeting. Well, thanks for calling into this fucking show.
Oh, thanks, Screech.
Johnny Sins
thanks,
and
Screech,
OJ
for coming on the
together.
show.
Oh my god,
Oh,
We
Screech?
double book them.
a Johnny Sins, O.J. Simpson show where we talk about some Spanish royalty from the 1600s that no one's ever heard of. That's gotta be the best show ever.
Make it happen.
So there we go. The two of them are married. It's 1978,
Gorgeous.
and already Robert's bank account is hemorrhaging from this, royal marriage they had.
Oh, yay.
Good.
So it didn't take long for a 23-year-old at this point, Kris Kardashian, to start popping out hellspawn. The first was Courtney in 1979. Of course, spelled with a K. We know who she is. This is Mortal Kombat rules, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So next was Kim in 1980. She's got a big butt. And interesting about this is that she
Yeah.
was conceived and named after Casa Kimberly, which was the drunken love nest that Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton would have sex in and drink.
Call back.
Yeah. So basically, they were like, "This is where those two fucked. We're gonna name her Kim after where they fucked."
Good.
That's nice.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Then in 1984 came Chloe. Now, Chloe looks nothing like her father.
Weird.
Interesting. Well, we're going to get into that. That's very weird. She doesn't look like Kardashian.
Yeah, that's okay. That's like how Mia Farrow had that kid with Woody Allen that looked just like Frank Sinatra. It happens. It's a very showbiz thing.
And the last was none other than, I would just say, like warm toast, Rob Kardashian, who really hasn't done anything. He was born in 1987, so he's a year older than you and I, Tom.
Wait, what? Isn't there one who's younger than us?
Well, there's other ones, but not from this romance.
That's from.
So it stops at Rob with the original Kris Kardashian and
The
Rob
OG Kardashian.
Yeah.
Very good.
You know, I gotta say, this Rob fella, the youngest one, he looks retarded.
He does.
How do you look this stupid?
He does look pretty
Well, he had a
dumb.
lot of money.
And this Black China person looks even worse. She looks like a fucking Muppet. She's got like that Muppet cheeks. Like
droopy jowls.
no, it's not droopy jowls. It's like she's like a Dark Crystal character. Like
Wait, I gotta look at Black China.
hold on, I'll throw one in the post for you so you can know what I'm talking about.
Oh, dude, no, hold on. I'm looking at her right now. She looks like
She looks like Dark Crystal.
yeah, she looks like the Dark Crystal things.
Yeah. Like,
What's with their face?
I don't
it's
know.
a square.
Why is her face is that?
Why is her face is that?
Oh man. So this was Kris Kardashian's dream. She just wanted to be a rich mom, or as she called it, momager, like a manager mom.
Never, please.
Oh my god, that's much worse than women saying Target.
Yeah, right. So it was her fucking goal in life that she would manage her circus monkeys of a children to later become a hit reality TV series and, you know, all the sex tapes, all that shit. That was what she wanted all along.
Nice.
Right. Great. All right. This is fantastic.
Okay. So we're going to go talk. I just wanted to mention all the kids. Now we're going to talk about kind of this marriage and how it eats shit. That's the best way to put it.
Okay.
So Kris was burning through Robert's money. Once she bought a $3,000 belt, and Robert was like, $3,000 for a belt? Could you believe that? Who needs a $3,000 belt?
Right, like a perfectly stable Armenian man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Robert, who hadn't at this point, you know, in the 80s, Robert hadn't practiced law for years now. He kind of got sick of that. He's like, I don't want to be a lawyer. He's like one of those LA people that just do stuff, like, and make money, right?
Right. I never really got that whole thing. I don't know if I'd be any good at that.
Yeah, so he tried to monopolize off his friend O.J. Simpson and his fame, and he teamed up with O.J. and they started a clothing line, which failed miserably. Then
I'm not surprised.
then they tried to make an O.J. Simpson frozen yogurt chain.
Oh, that's probably good.
A frozen yogurt
Yes.
I don't remember that.
with
Like
O.J.
Go-Gurt.
Simpson's face on it.
Well, it was only in L.A. Like, they released it all around L.A. It was like, oh, yeah, O.J.'s the juice.
Come have the juices cream.
Right?
Come kill your.
Come get the softest serve that I can throw. Was he was a quarterback. He was a receiver, correct?
Yeah, he was a receiver.
Receive my juice.
There you go.
Come.
Pack it with me. So Robert was one of those, I like to call them talentless, uncreative venture capitalists. Talentless, uncreative venture capitalists that just would throw money at things, thinking that they were some type of visionary, right?
Yeah.
Like if I just throw money at someone that has an idea, like all of a sudden I'm the guru, I'm the man, I did it.
You got it right.
Right, yeah. Which is, I mean, like, to be fair, we have trained our entire society to think that is the right way to do things.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think people should come up with their own ideas.
No.
Okay, so
No.
anyway, Robert's next business venture was one that stuck. This idea was, well, OJ boy. This idea was the idea of K-Day programmer Bob Wilson. K-Day, the radio station. For those of you that are in L.A. K-Day.
K-K-D-A-Y. It's got a cream juice. Come on, put your face under his creamy juice. He's a juice man, throwing things left and right. You ever seen The Naked Gun? You ever laugh at that? You could spit out something. Leslie Nielsen's hair is just like the cream of the juice.
Yeah, so that's what Bob Wilson's doing. He's the program director. He's like, K-Day, we gonna have a day. And I'm gonna touch the day that you were born. I touched you the day you were born. And so he starts something called Radio and Records, a company called Radio and Records. Basically, this was another Billboard chart that was geared more as a resource for the music industry itself. So stuffy execs could look at this chart and see like, oh, Mitchell Jackson, and Metallica are doing great. We should get these jazzed youth a T-shirt.
Ah, okay.
All right.
You get it? So, like, it's not something like Billboard where it's like, what can I listen to that's cool? It's more like old white guys being like...
Brainwashing.
Yeah, old white guys being like, Michael Jackson's dick is hot right now. We should make it more
kids
white.
love popcorn, and I have a microwave. Let's see what we can sell.
Yeah. So, Kardashian claimed far too much credit than he deserved. He pretty much just threw money at Bob, who was like the music guy. But he made a very sizable return for his investment. That, was good. He made some money. There you go.
Good.
Hey, man, can't shit on anyone for making money, especially if the packing industry has gone south.
Yeah. So coming out of this music-oriented win, Robert Kardashian's like, I'm a music guy. I'm a music industry guru. Look at me. I'm the best. Touch my nipples. They're hard.
Guru.
And Nirvana's going
You're
to come
the
out of them
best,
soon.
Rob.
Best Bob. That's the best Bob in the world, guys. Come on, guys. Look at Best Bob K-Day.
So he's like, I know music, and we're going to start a company, his own brainchild, right? His own brainchild, Movie Tunes.
Oh, is that like hit clips?
No. So this was pretty much a monthly cassette tape with advertising on it that he would send to movie theaters, and they'd play it over the speakers while they waited for the movie to start.
Oh, he's that guy.
Yeah.
That's where they made them monies?
Yeah. So it's like, you just listened to Tupac Shaker and his new film, The Movies.
Perfect.
You had 3 weeks to write this script. That's what you came up with for that line?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it, dude. I know about movies and music, so I pretty much invented
You know what?
it.
You don't cut a lot of corners, so I'm not going to bust your chops. I can't bust your chops.
So, this wonderful thing, Movie Tunes, eventually it would kind of work when they integrated it with the screen. Because literally he's just sending out, like, mixtapes, like, that you send your girlfriend to movie theaters, right? Like, that doesn't work.
great.
Like, that don't work.
It doesn't work in theaters. Well,
Yeah.
actually, no. Okay, we're putting ourselves in the mindset of people who go to theaters 3 times, 4 times a year. There's a lot of dimwits who go to movie theaters who load up on the sodas every time. And,
Well, they got to see every Avenger movie that comes out every month.
right.
Right.
It does work for them. Like, oh, I like this song, Mom. I heard it on radio. I forgot what the man said. Can you write down your smartphone?
So this Movie Tunes was a gigantic flop. And this was mainly because Born Again Robert Kardashian wasn't screening any of the tracks that he was pumping out on these cassette tapes. So some mom would bring little Timmy to see E.T., the alien that hides in the closet and tells them, hey, check out this neat trick I do with my special finger. And NWA would come on.
Yeah.
This fucking speakers. And this mom would be like, oh, don't worry, we're going to watch this movie about the alien in the closet. Don't listen to the black person yell at you.
Yeah, groups like NWA just throwing it out there, and then, yes, sheltered children.
Right. I mean, this
Doesn't mesh with the ET crowd.
Yeah, exactly.
What, Straight Outta Compton and E.T. don't, mesh?
No.
I don't think so, Mike. Maybe your children will experience something different. But back then, there was a decency that was, let's put it this way.
Stupid.
There were prejudices.
Ronald Reagan was president. So, I mean, maybe Robert was ahead of his time. He wasn't listening to... I think more of like, he just dumped money at someone that could make this happen, that knew how to make a mixtape, and didn't realize, like, oh, guess what? Artists actually, like, express themselves, and, like, they say bad words. And some mom from Michigan...
Naughty words.
Some mom from Michigan is going to get upset.
Yes, this is pre-Miley Cyrus.
Yeah. So anyway, this shit flops mainly because of that. But all the reason why Robert is making this money, he's being out there, he's grinding, he's starting all these businesses, because he needed to make it for Kris Kardashian. She had to have 100% Coco Chanel wardrobes.
I'd hate that.
She had to have $300 lunches. And that's not an arbitrary number that I just pulled out of the hat. This was something her friend said. I wanted to go have... This was somebody she worked with at American Airlines. She was like, I wanted to go catch up with my friend. And then they handed me my portion of the bill, and it was $300.
Oh, of course. Yeah, blame it on your friends.
Let's go back to their third child, Khloe Kardashian. As I mentioned, she looks nothing like her father at all.
Right.
And throughout her life, she has been kind of the brunt of jokes and harassment about it. Like, oh, you don't look like any of us. You kind of look ethnic. Lol. That's not like what our dad looks like. He's a hairy Armenian.
You're a bald, beautiful woman.
Yeah, right. You don't need to shave your back hairs. Ha! I'm Kim Kardashian.
Oh, my God.
Great.
Anyway, a DNA test had never been performed, and in Robert's defense, I will say this: usually we don't talk good about our roasts, but in his defense, he pretty much knew that this child was not his, but he always stood with her, saying like he doesn't care that this was probably another man's dick juice that created her. So,
Wow.
good job, Rob.
Yeah, right.
Simp.
Some
Yes,
some
simp.
cock.
Simp.
So half credit, I guess.
So how did this marriage end? It's got everything like an apple. Everything's born, raised, reared, and then comes to an end.
Shitty, yeah, of course.
Got it.
Put it in a pie and throw it out the window.
Yeah. So, Kris Kardashian started to droop after blasting out all baby after baby.
Yeah.
And she got a little bit jealous over O.J. Simpson's girlfriend, who got a new set of silicone knockers.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
So she
I need
she
those.
demanded Robert get her a new pair of boobies at the age of 38.
Boobs.
And there's another shit that he's hemorrhaging. And with this new set, a year later, at the age of 39 years old, Kris Kardashian meets 23-year-old Todd Waterman, as she refers to in her memoirs, calls him Ryan for whatever reason.
Todd Waterman.
Yes.
Not
That's a little
water
porn
boy, water
Is it?
man.
You mean the animator from Anastasia?
No, I don't think so.
I IMDb'd him right away very quickly. There's a guy who worked on Anastasia.
Oh, the Disney animated movie that that glossed over the fact that the Russians completely annihilated an entire family.
Well, no, it's not a Disney movie, but yes, that's the gist.
Okay.
Perfect.
So Todd Waterman.
I mean, Fantasia.
Yeah, so Todd Waterman, as Kris put it in her memoirs, in quotes, I needed my freedom. I needed my independence. I had 4 kids, and I had not lived a life.
I think you're a fucking idiot.
So also,
Well said.
yeah, also in her memoir, she mentions her sole ambition in life was to have 6 kids, and that she was a very good Christian. And what we're going to get into, I would not say it would be the height of Christian morals. I mean, I don't know. Christian morals are kind of fucked. It's like stone your neighbor, like fuck the goat,
Kiss a boy.
fuck the goat that had sex
Kill
with
your
your
son.
wife, kill your son.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. None of this matters.
whatever.
Oh yeah, so it is the Todd Waterman who was the animator on.
Wow.
Really?
Same guy. Yeah.
Same guy?
Good on him.
Fuck.
God, we're such a goss magazine today.
I know. This is. I feel like I've done 2 very gossipy people back to back doing Kardashian and then also Elizabeth Taylor,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
am just so jonesing to get back into history. This is not who I am. I'm not a gossip
I
boy.
know you're really.
Yeah.
This is for the listens. We need a new audience. We need a younger, sexier audience.
No, I need an older 55, watches the History Channel, watches maybe about 7 or 8 shows on the Hitler and aliens.
Then Pawn
That's what I need.
You know, I gotta say something. I realized something about History Channel, and Ancient Aliens is that I watch Ancient Aliens like my dad watches sports. I am so invested every time I am watching that show. I get in, I go, yes, that's true. The Russian Eye of this, the Brotherhood of the Dragon, yes. And then as soon as they trip up a little bit, I'm like, yeah, you stupid.
Well,
come on,
Tom, they're not.
Georgios is not the craziest guy on that show, by the way. The
Yeah.
guy with the big hair, he is not the craziest guy.
Tom, they're not tripping up. It's because they're owned partially by the Rothschilds. And the Rothschilds don't want all the truth to be out. They'll let you know about the aliens. They're not going to let you know about the lizard people.
Well, see about that, because I'm going to find
Fucking
out.
rabbit hole.
Anyway, yeah. Anyway.
Sorry, well, let's go back.
So, she's fucking this 23-year-old Todd Waterman Anastasia animator, apparently. I didn't know. But at the moment, he is on the soccer team for LA Heat.
Okay.
Yeah, so Kris Kardashian gloats in her memoirs. This was wild, crazy sex that we had all the time, everywhere, anywhere you could think of.
Damn.
Anywhere I can think of, like Mars.
Yeah, they were basically. You watch the Spice Girls music videos? They're doing it all the places.
Was that them in the background?
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, he's on the LA Heat, so he's got stamina, dude. He's 23-year-old.
A 38-year-old who had been banging person who was 12 years older than her?
Yeah, he's in his
15 years
40s
older?
now, like pushing 50, somewhere around there.
Right, yeah.
Like the cum is like
Crusty.
well, have you ever like gotten one of those like little rocks that's like a Japanese like thing where like the water kind of like pours over the sides gently? It's relaxing.
Yes. Like a nice, smooth fall.
That's what happens is he would have sex with her and he'd be like, hold on. And then he'd pull out and he'd sit there and wait and he'd watch it just dribble out of the sides.
Well, got to make sure you only have a certain amount of kids. Anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry, I made this weird. But anyway, so Kris, she's fucking this dude everywhere. And so Robert's next door neighbor and childhood friend Larry Crane, we talked about him before. He had a full gym in the basement of his house, and they literally lived next to each other. It was like, Tom, if you bought a house, or like Cody, if you bought a house, I'm like, I'm moving in next door. I'm gonna do some weird things.
I'd like that. That's fine.
Yeah, but I do.
Oh my God, we should make that a thing.
Just have all
Let's all
houses.
live together.
Yeah, why not?
Well, not together,
That'd be-
just in houses next to each other.
We'll be neighbors.
We should be neighbors. Mike can live in my doghouse, and then the three of us could have houses.
How about that?
Yeah. So
Mike, you can come in and use the bathroom, but only before 11 o'clock.
God damn it. I want to shit outside.
Yeah, shit outside. I'll leave
think
you
that's what he's
plenty of
implying.
paper. It's post-COVID. I have toilet paper.
Yeah.
yeah. So Larry, he has this full gym, and it wasn't anything out of the usual for Kris to go over and use the gym. You know, she's got silicone titties. You got to keep the muscle mass to keep the silicone intact.
You don't want to get hard.
Yeah. So one day, Larry walks down to get his swell on, and sees Kris Kardashian's personal trainer, Todd Waterman, practicing his lunges on his best friend's wife.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, and one of the lead animators of Stage.
Yeah, he's animating on that pussy.
He's staging.
Staging
Ew.
that pussy. So Larry confronts both Kris and Robert. And Robert is in denial. He's like, nah, you must have caught them like in the wrong moment. Maybe he's stretching out her glutes.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, like maybe he's
Yeah.
like doing a little massage on them legs, you know?
Dips. Doing the dips.
But later on that week, Waterman, who had full access to the Kardashian tennis court, which they had a tennis court, Waterman mentions that he saw Robert Kardashian sitting on the second floor window looking out, watching Waterman and his friend play tennis, yelling, "Foot fault! Foot fault! Foot fault!"
So he was yelling at the guy who was porking his wife.
Yeah, about a foot
about
fault.
where his foot was.
Yeah.
What a fucking Nancy! Oh my God, I would have brought if I was the lead animator of Anastasia. I would have found every friend in the world to come over and bang his wife.
I'd help you out with that, man.
Yeah, man. Cody.
I'd be proud to
look.
help you out.
Hey, I'm the lead animator on Anastasia.
Shut up. Where's your wife?
Yeah. Come on, come on down. Have sex with this man's wife.
So,
In his,
sorry.
I'm done.
He's done.
So, being a good evangelical Christian and roughly connected to the Armenian mob, Robert Kardashian always was packing heat. He had about 15 guns.
He's packing, Tom.
Yeah, he's packing.
Packing again. I missed that word. Packing.
So he had about 15 guns that he kept in various places of the house. And
Oh, I want to like go into like one of those houses and just like, rattle the fruit bowl and see like an Uzi like flop out. And I want a roommate like that. You know what I mean? Where it's just like an Easter egg hunt, but it's just fucking Glocks instead
No
of
fucking
eggs.
way do I want a roommate like that. I don't want anyone like that. I want to be that.
Oh, you want to be the guy hiding like a bazooka in like the broom closet and shit?
Yeah,
like
I don't
that?
want to. I don't want a fucking roommate like that because I don't know if I'm gonna fucking clean out the toaster the way you asked me to.
With a grenade.
you got to do
Yeah.
it bravely and little.
How much is rent?
Good point.
4
We
M4
don't know.
machine guns.
So Larry, his friend, Robert's friend Larry, he's getting kind of nervous. He's like, Robert, you got a lot of guns. And Robert had made it clear that he was going to tail his wife and their trainer around town. You're like, I don't know. It's probably not a good idea, dude. Because you're probably
Yeah,
not going to like
watch
what you
it.
see. I saw something happening on my fucking Bowflex downstairs.
So it's funny. He's in denial about it, but then he's just like, "But I'm gonna make sure if I'm gonna." I don't believe what you're saying happened
What?
in your gym, but if I have to kill a bitch and the lead animator of Anastasia, then I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't believe him, you don't tell him. So he believed it, and he was just like, "No, I just bought those tits. I need them for like 4 more months. Give me 4 more months of sucking on those rock pebbles."
Yeah, so in a sense of ultimate divine karma, which is something that Robert Kardashian didn't believe in, he's Christian. He doesn't know what Buddhist is.
No.
He tailed Chris and Todd Waterman back to Todd's place. An apartment, by the way, that was fully furnished off a credit card in Robert Kardashian's name. Chris had bought him like a new bed, new couch, all the shit. And she had left the receipts in the house. Like later he found the receipts. Like I don't know why
Dumb
you
fuck.
keep the receipts.
Oh God, this is the best.
But anyway,
This is so LA.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he catches them in the act. And Todd and Kris Kardashian flee the apartment in Todd's Jeep. Tom, you're going to like this because it's a Jeep.
It's a Wrangler.
Yeah.
So they were able to escape because a Jeep can go more places than a Rolls Royce being driven by a man who doesn't know what a Rolls Royce is for.
Well, they were able to escape, but not before Robert Kardashian could unleash his true ultimate yuppie rage. He had hit that Smash Brothers ball, right? Boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom.
Right.
So while the Jeep was pulling out, Robert had reached into his golf club bag, pulled out a golf club, and smashed the side of the Jeep up in his like, "Oh, you fucked my wife!" And it basically left
That's
a
not that
tiny,
bad.
left a tiny little dent. And literally, Todd Waterman turned to Chris and was like, "Do you want me to get out there and fight him or something?" And she's like, "No, that's not worth it."
Yeah. So the Jeep
Really?
was,
Oh yeah. Do you want me
Wow.
to fight your hairy troll man?
So the Jeep was cuckstruck.
Yes. So there, so a chase ensued with. This was like a chase that was mentioned. I think the police might have got involved. Robert's not black, so he didn't die or get arrested. But like, Robert chased the two of them in his Rolls Royce, and eventually just gave up. But this is kind of funny because it's a little bit of foreshadowing to his old pal OJ, who is not in fact white.
Yeah.
And would have a police chase happen.
I remember that. Well, not as it happened, but I do remember that.
After the Todd thing and this yuppie rage of I mean, he's not really even a yuppie at this point. I keep saying yuppie, but he's not young. He's old.
Yeah, but he's a cocksucker.
He's a cocksucker. So the marriage was over. Todd, the lead animator from Anastasia, kind of freaked out a little bit about this whole like midlife crisis thing that the woman he was nailing and giving rim jobs to. So he fled to London. He was like, I'm done with this shit. I don't want to deal with this.
Gotcha.
I guess he came back to animate.
No one cares about animators. I know that.
So the divorce went surprisingly smooth at first. Even though Chris was a little bit shocked, she didn't realize that this would affect her children or her marriage or her spending. She's like, whoa, whoa. The kids,
what happened
the
here?
kids are crying. Little Kim Kardashian's crying.
Weird.
So due to the kids, Robert and Chris continued to live together during the whole divorce in the Beverly Hills place. Robert was all full of doom and gloom, right? He's just sitting there moping like, can't believe this stupid cunt Kardashian. Fuck. And Kris Kardashian was throwing these, gallivanting, throwing these like huge pool parties for the kids, having all the moms over, showing off her bikini, with her new fake titties, having a good old time. While the guests would see Robert harumphing in front of a massive oil painting of the Kardashian family that he had commissioned a few years earlier.
I'm sure, yes, yeah. That would really bother you.
Yes.
If I commissioned a $20,000 painting of my family, then my wife left and took my house and the goddamn painting, oh, God. I would pay $40,000 to have it struck in half.
Yes. So things became a little bit too much for Robert when Chris started hooking up with Olympic tranniator, with Olympic champion Bruce Jenner.
Bruce.
Yes, the Bruce.
Oh, my God. What a hero.
Now known as Caitlyn Jenner.
Wow.
Hey, good for him,
Yeah,
Her.
good for her.
That he turned to pussy. Something, I don't know. Is there a joke to be made there? Yes, there is.
Maybe.
I don't know if I have the patience to do it.
So I don't want to be like called out by the community. I'm going to refer to Caitlyn as Bruce because we're talking about the past when he had a penis and he was filling Kris Kardashian up with his man cream, his Olympian man.
Right.
So Bruce and Chris became a couple quickly. Both of them were divorced single parents, and both of them craved attention, a lot of attention.
Well, I mean, once you get put on a box of Wheaties.
Yeah, right? You want to be on more boxes of Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, like me. I hope one day I will be on
I want to be
that.
on a box of something.
I want to be on a box of butter. I want to be underneath.
That's up there.
I want to be upside down underneath the Land O'Lakes, bitch.
Dude.
Like, I love your tan skin.
Yeah, I just want to have my legs, like, because she's kneeling. Like, my legs are out to the back of her, underneath her skirt. So Robert, who was socially distancing in the house with Kris Kardashian, he eventually just couldn't deal with it anymore. And he said, well, all right, Chris, you can have the house for 6 months until you find a place to live. Like, I'll go get her an apartment or something. And the day after he said that and moved out, Bruce, his kids, and Bruce's parents moved into Robert Kardashian's Beverly Hills home.
Nice.
That's how you do
Yeah,
it.
he's moving right in.
And take some
So
notes.
after the 6 months went past, Chris and Bruce had to leave, but they trashed the place, leaving holes in the wall and shit everywhere. For Robert, who was already just like a mopey-ass boy, come back and be like,
what?
oh my God, what did they do to this place? Are they fucking the walls?
Were they fucking in the walls? Like some kind of trans-dimensional beings just up in this bitch?
So 9 months after Chris met Bruce, they married in 1991. Chris would eventually blast out Kendall and Kylie Jenner before Bruce decided, you know what? My penis has done enough damage to the collective culture of the human race. I'm going to slice that off and become Caitlyn.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, taking one for the team.
Yeah, right?
Definitely.
I mean,
Good job, Travis.
Kendall, Well, I say that, and it's kind of mean. It's kind of aggressive because Kendall can stop a protest with a Pepsi.
I can't do that.
I can't believe how progressive this family
Yeah.
is.
Weird.
It's insane. It's
Genetic.
insane what this family has done.
So where does this leave our sap, Robert Kardashian? Well, he moped around for a little bit, just screaming, "Why? Why, Bruce? Why, Bruce? You won the medal for our country."
Oh,
Right.
man.
Then he met up with his old pal, Ken Gillinson, his pastor, right? And his pastor introduced him to recently widowed Denise Shakarian.
Why does everything sound like a fucking alien?
Right, so
The Kardashian, Shakarian.
Excuse me, Cody, it's pronounced Armenian, not alien.
I have a...
Sorry, that was the Asian lisp fucking up the L and the O.
Yeah, of course, man. We're very tolerant. We're just like the Jenners.
Thank you.
Just like
him. So Kardashian instantly hit it up with Denise. There's something super comforting and super familiar about Denise.
You smell
Was
nice.
it the fact that she was 32, which was 2 years younger than his old wife, and had a huge fake rack? No,
Maybe.
no, it wasn't it.
Oh.
Was it the fact that she was widowed to a man that she had only been married to a few months and met an untimely death and was now standing to make millions of dollars that she could rip away from the family? No, it wasn't that either.
No? Oh.
Was she a lazy boy? Was she the heir to the lazy boy family?
Oh.
Well, was it the fact that she was a fellow Armenian and Robert was longing for that good traditional Armenian wife after dealing with the San Francisco trailer trash that he had for a decade? A little closer. It was the fact that Denise was Robert's third cousin.
Yeah, right. That's that familiar shit we're looking for.
And they both knew it. It wasn't something that was like, a third cousin's a little removed, right? But it was like, oh, you're my third cousin? That makes me so hot.
Wow, yeah. It's called the Armenian steeple marriage.
Yeah.
So Robert helped Denise pry the inheritance from the family of her last husband by consulting her using his expired law license.
Good.
Something that the bereaved family were able to call out, and in the end, Robert was like, "Oh, okay, I'll get a license. Whatever, it's cool. Fuck you guys, I'm a lawyer." And when everything came to about, Robert was cruising around in a new Rolls Royce from the fresh corpse that had paid for his soon-to-be fiance cousin's fake tits.
What a sentence. That's a good one, Travis.
Thank you.
You know, we've been doing this podcast for a while, and a lot of gross things that people do. But for some reason, that made me throw up in my mouth a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So, as hard as it is to believe, there was a time where you could say the name Kardashian, and people would be like, "Which Star Wars bounty hunter are you talking about? Is it the Is it the lizard man or the one that looks like a mummy?"
I like that. Nerd joke.
Right? So right now, no one knew who the Kardashians were. I mean, Robert showed up a little bit in the news because of Priscilla Presley back in the day. I mean, maybe some rag fucking picked up his name, but like no one knew who the Kardashians were. But this would all change when Robert's butt buddy and hero, O.J. Simpson, stabbed his ex-wife Nicole Brown and her friend Ron Goldman to death. And
I'm sorry, what?
yeah, I'm gonna say it's murder because that's what it was.
Well, dude, he was acquitted.
Yeah.
You can't say that.
You must acquit if it does not fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Travis, as the roast mortem lawyer of the evening,
Yeah.
I must ask you to say allegedly.
Allegedly.
Oh.
Allegedly.
Cease and desist.
Allegedly stabbed to death Nicole Brown and Rod Goldman.
Also, he's a very funny actor. Did you see Priscilla Presley and O.J. Simpson? Oh my God! They're both in Naked Guns. They're both in the guns.
They're both guns.
I love
They're
that
each in
visual.
all 3 episodes. Right
I
there
love that
alongside
visual
Leslie
gag
Nielsen.
where OJ is just putting the gun together for like an hour. And it just keeps getting bigger.
Yeah, that's the end of the 3rd one. And he
Yeah.
keeps doing it. Yeah. And the first one where the best injury scene ever. You know, he walks in, he's got the pie in his face, he's touching all the things, getting electrocuted and whatever before falling. That man who gave us so much joy allegedly killed his wife and her bus boyfriend.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Okay, sorry.
Allegedly.
I've been
No.
drinking for a while, so I don't know if I had a
shit.
point there.
No, Tom,
but-
you filled in as my lawyer. I should say allegedly, OJ stabbed a bitch.
Yeah. OJ legendarily stabbed the
Yeah.
bitch.
So Simpson would lead the police on a chase, complete with news helicopters flying over when he fled his house in a white Ford Bronco SUV.
Bronco.
Yes.
I always wanted one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love those cars.
Yeah, me too. They're cool.
What do those
Yeah.
things top out at? 8 miles per hour?
Something like that. I don't know.
That's why that
you might
chase
get
was so slow.
you might, if you're really cruising without any brakes whatsoever, get 8 miles a gallon.
Yeah, right. Well, you have to club
yeah.
seals out of your car while you're moving in order for it to go. You're basically using
Yeah.
the clubbing as a propulsion.
Right, which is every reason as to why I want one.
So when he did this stunt, he left a letter, defending his innocence to his friend, his ex-business partner, the man who he was the groomsman to, none other than attorney Robert Kardashian. And he was left with this letter to read it to the press.
Wow.
So at this point, he read the letter off, and Kardashian actually had to spell his name to members of the press corps, which was how little we knew about the Kardashians. Like, you could probably, if you went to any press guy and you're like, oh, the Kardashians, they're like, oh, that's how you spell. Like, I know how to spell banana, of course, Kardashian.
Kardashian. I like how just slightly earlier than this, you made a joke that, like, oh, Kardashian could be, like, a Star Wars bounty hunter. But it is, in fact, an actual Star Trek race. Did you know
Really?
this?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. There's a Kardashian race. It's with a C and 2 S's instead of a SH at the end of it. But there are Kardashians within the Star Trek universe.
They play a heavy role in Deep Space Nine. Mm-hmm. Because the Kardashian
I'm freaked
planet,
out Tom knows about this.
Oh, I love Deep Space Nine. It's one of the best. I love it.
You're usually yelling at me for being a dork about knowing about Voltron too much.
Which is
Tom
why-
with Kardashian lore.
No, trust me, it's great. Yeah, the Kardashians. What a bunch of assholes. Well, what was the guy? The guy on Deep Space Nine who had the shop, the tailor shop, who was
I
the
don't know.
Kardashian, and everyone was like, I don't like him around here because the
You guys are nerds. You guys should watch Disney's Star Wars.
fuck that, fuck Star Wars, fuck it sideways. I don't care about it, and also fuck a lot of Star Trek shit. I like Deep Space Nine. I like Next Generation. Everything else is
Yeah.
kind of dumb.
The original shit. was
Wait, you
kinda
don't like the
goofy.
one that where they couldn't afford Angelina Jolie, but they got someone that kind of looked like Angelina Jolie, but with bigger tits to play Spock, but a female?
Oh yeah, that was
Enterprise.
Voyager.
It was
Voyager.
Enterprise.
No, it was Voyager. What are you talking about?
It was
right, let's
Enterprise,
put
the
this to bed,
theme
nerds.
song. It's been a long way. It's like they basically had butt,
Oh, you mean
butt
d-
rock as their.
Oh, you're talking about. Are you talking about Diana
I
Troy?
have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Are you talking about Diana
Is that
Troy?
a porn star? Did she have a scene
No,
with John
that's-
Sims?
The Betazoid.
All right, we're done.
Yeah,
Let's
pull the
get
plug
back
on
to reality. Let's get to real shit. I want reality TV. I don't want this fucking fantasy
Whoops.
TV. I need Johnny Sins. I need fucking Kardashians.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah.
Real stuff.
Whoops, there comes reality.
Johnson.
All right, back to reality. So, the OJ trial was one of the biggest trials in the 1990s. I mean, it's probably the OJ trial, and then also, did our president get his dick sucked? It's those two. Those are the big ones. 90s. All you got to know if you're a lawyer, those are the two things that happen.
Good point.
So, was he guilty? Was he innocent? OJ. I'm not talking about Bill. What?
Innocent.
I mean, you can see the evidence on Monica Lewinsky's face for Bill, but like, was he guilty? Was he innocent? people were kind of fixated on the case. And there was a huge, distinct racial divide. So a lot of black people saw OJ as a successful black man, an inspirational football player, and there were droves of black people that showed up to OJ's Brentwood apartment with signs, all sorts of signs saying like, hey man, this is the white folk fucking you up. And OJ was pissed about that. He actually, so all these black folks in the white neighborhood, OJ angrily asked one of his white friends, hey, what are all these N-words doing in Brentwood?
He Michael Jordan.
Yeah, no, OJ had been hanging out with the Kardashians and like had basically tried to like distance himself from anything that was black at this point. So it was kind of ironic because, you know. All right, so Rob Kardashian, in a true mobster family mentality, blindly supported his friend OJ. So he was his lawyer. But Robert's friends, even his brother, an ex-felon, Tom Kardashian, begged him not to take OJ as a client. They knew, if there was anyone that knew about how OJ could get violent with women that he had dated and married in the past, it would have been the two OG yuppies, the Kardashian brothers, that had both gotten sloppy drunk with him at the LA scene, right? Like,
all right. Fucking excuse me, a legendarily violent with women.
Legendarily.
Legendarily.
Well, no, that's not even allegedly. Like there's been documented cases of him giving black eyes and shit to his girlfriends, and this mainly came from a Kardashian source. So they just looked past that and were like, legendarily, he smacked the shit out of his girlfriends, but like legendarily, that glove is not the right size for this man's hand.
Well, you know what the trick is? He stabbed her with his feet.
Yeah, Johnny Simp style.
Yeah. Didn't see it coming.
Didn't see it coming.
So as the trial went on, Robert Kardashian couldn't help but see the signs that his buddy, the Juice, probably iced his ex-wife. OJ actually tried hiding a gun in the Kardashian house that Robert found under Khloe's bed.
Wow, what good friends you gotta be. I gotta say, if anyone here, especially Mike, tried asking me to hide a gun for him, I'd just be
under
like,
your
no.
daughter's bed. He was like 13.
No.
Why do you think I'd
Especially
Mike.
Mike.
Hide a gun?
Especially Mike.
Well, I would hide a
Tried
gun.
hiding a gun.
I would hide a gun for
I would
any of
hide
you
it.
guys.
Really?
I don't hide.
Yeah. Give me your guns.
Tom just
Got
takes
shaved off
it.
serial numbers of mine.
Yeah, Tom just takes it and holds me up for like my wallet and like, I'll hide your gun.
Yeah, give me that gun. I got opinions. Anyway,
So Robert stuck by his best friend. He prayed for him as a good Christian did, but in his Christian heart, he knew OJ allegedly stabbed his wife.
a few times. Yeah.
So there was another thing that was interesting about this case, and that was a woman named Sean Chapman.
A woman named Sean. Well, thank God we have a woman named Bruce as well in this story.
So Sean Chapman was a black attorney that was assisting Johnny Cochran in OJ's race car defense. Now, at the time, Robert was engaged to Denise, but he left Denise on the wayside. They were actually engaged for 6 years. I think Robert was wrestling with the fact that, this is my cousin. I could fuck her, but I can't marry her.
Yeah, wrestling with his cousin. Got it.
yeah, with his penis.
Oh?
So Robert proved that you can be racist even if your best friend, O.J. Simpson, is black.
White privilege.
When he dropped Sean like hot rocks, stating that he would never marry Sean because of her race. Apparently, Robert thought it was okay to fuck black chicks, but he could never get serious with one.
He's a scumbag.
Yeah. But, I mean, we're talking about a racist Armenian sleazebag
Yeah.
here, so...
Yeah, I mean,
Surprise.
he's got a pretty low standard going into this. I mean, like a lot of the people that I roast that we bring in here, we can at least say they did something cool. He's got none of that.
No.
Even Lord Byron was like, at least he wrote up poetry.
This guy did nothing.
Yeah.
Dude, but he knows music, Tom. He knows music.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
He knows O.J. Simpson, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
So after the trial, O.J. got off the hook somehow, even regardless of the bloody glove. And Robert Kardashian was alone yet again because he had already been like, Sean, sorry you're black. I know it's fun to have sex, but I don't like you.
Such what a complicated man. Such a complex character, honestly embodying the duality of mankind. The two pieces being racist shit, and the other piece being like, hey, let me crack off a little bit of that, though.
Yeah, right? So not long after he met a recently widowed woman named Janice Lynn Ashley. Now, this time, both of them were about the same age. Robert was 55, and Jan was 51. So, okay, cool. You're actually marrying within your generation.
Nice.
That's great.
Fine.
About time.
Jan's claim to fame was that she was Miss Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1966. Wow.
I mean,
That's something to be proud about.
Yeah. why
Mike,
not?
you have fallen into better accomplishments than that by accident.
Yeah, but she won something. How many people win things in their lives, you know?
What are you doing? Wrestling Cheetos over there?
Continue.
So Robert at this point had no real work to do any of these days. I mean, he was essentially retired.
oh, good.
But he'd still get up and pretend to do work. You know, that's what you do when you're
That's
retired.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jan ended up being a complete bitch. And so the second they were married, she went into Robert's Beverly Hills apartment and saw Robert's Doberman. Robert always had a thing for Doberman pinchers. He loved the dog of the Nazis.
Yeah, well, okay.
Wow, the dog of the Nazis wasn't a German Shepherd?
No, pincers, dude.
Okay.
So this dog had been with him for over a decade now, and it had been with him through some really hard times, right? He had lost his wife, and it was truly like a man's best friend, right? Like, you know, you can relate to your dog. He was a dog dude.
Yeah,
right?
all
He was
right,
like,
fine, whatever.
I love this dog.
Well, what's not to like? What's not to like about this dog?
And so Jan was like, you gotta get rid of this fucking dog. I hate it. And in true bitch boy fashion, Rob got rid of it. He said he gave it to his cousin, or maybe he used one of his 15 guns. I don't know, but it was gone.
Okay. Sure.
So only after a few months of marriage, Kardashian wanted to get the marriage annulled and came up with some bullshit reason about how she wanted kids, but she couldn't have kids because she was too old. I don't know. Whatever. They broke up.
Okay.
So next up, Robert met Ellen Pearson. And with that, would somebody like to ask me the question?
Can I?
Sure.
Yeah.
How did Ellen Pearson kill Robert Kardashian?
Ellen Pearson did not do anything allegedly. She just made his last minutes terrible.
She made the last bowl of oatmeal he'd ever try out.
Yeah. So in 2003, shortly after meeting Ellen, Robert found out that he had esophageal cancer.
Oh, that's a bad one.
Yeah, that is
no.
a pretty terrible way to go. So Robert was on his way out, but
How
yeah,
casual, yeah. I'm a head out.
but not long after he found out he had this cancer, Ellen was like, "Oh, I gotta sneak this in." They got married.
It sounds like
Right.
a Leopold episode. Where
Yeah, one of those. I need the bennies. I need to get
Gotta
them.
get that money.
Yeah, gotta get that money.
that cheddar.
Can't digest yet.
Yeah. That might have been a little bit hard for Robert to swallow.
Because of the cancer.
Because he was dying. He had an unfathomable pain in his neck every time he moved. Die, bitch. Whoa.
So Ellen
A+.
proceeded to make all of Robert's lifelong friends, people like Larry Crane, who had literally his next door neighbor, she had prevented all of them from seeing this dying man. She was like, nope, this is my dude. Don't disturb him. He's dying. I need his money. Like, imagine if one of you guys, like, God forbid, we're like,
on the woods.
Yeah, knock on wood. We're like, hey, I'm not going to live. And then some idiot was like, well, you can't see your friend.
Your dying friend.
Your dying friend.
Yeah. All right, that's fine.
Over my dead body.
All right, so because of her shared children, Cunt Kardashian swooped right back in for some pity points. She was allowed in. Ellen was like, all right, you have kids with this guy. You can come in. And Chris proceeded on licking the tears off the emaciated Robert's last goodbyes with his entitled brats.
Did she actually lick the tears off that dead man's face?
I would imagine. She probably needed more salt. I think I hear silicone. You need salt for them to, like, stick to your chest.
Yeah, but they're on the ocean. It's very easy.
Okay.
Sure.
So on September 30th, 2003, 5 months before his 60th birthday, Robert kicked the bucket and passed his idiot.
Never heard that
Well,
one. Yeah.
I gotta say, Travis, surprised you went with going this far into tabloid hell.
Dude, it was a challenge.
You're a soldier.
Let me tell you.
You're a soldier.
Let me tell you. This was hard. I like history. I like important people. And Robert Kardashian was not important at all.
No, the world could have done without a Robert Kardashian.
Makes me wonder why we're here right now.
Well, like,
Yeah.
as an archaeologist, right? Like, you dig around and you're seeing, like, what did people in this time period live like, and who are the important figures, but what did they live like? Robert Kardashian is neither. Like, he's not what people live like, and he's also not important. He's just a waste of space.
Yeah.
So I just would like take everything that this guy owned and put it into a pyre and burn it.
Including his children.
Yeah.
There you go.
So before we end the episode, I have a little bit of postmortem. I'm not. Obviously, we're not going to go. Yeah, we're not going to go into his children because this is not what's happening.
Well, those people are alive, and also they're terrible. So, if you care about them, I don't know how you got here.
I thought you made a noun. Or like, oh, those people are terribles.
Oh,
this is
yes,
well,
they are terribles. Let's
this
use
is
that.
this is also where you could say those people with like a capital T and capital P.
People.
Those people.
I mean, think about
Kardashians.
Think about how many thoughts have been developed.
Yeah,
by these folks.
Going down to the thought farm.
So, okay, so we all know
thanks
that
from Mike.
Yeah.
So we all know, thanks to the brainchild of Ryan Seacrest, in 2007, the Kardashians came out with the Keeping Up the Kardashians reality TV show.
Downfall of human civilization.
Wow.
Yeah, literally, Ryan Seacrest went around to he had an audition. It was like, do you make X amount of money, and can I make a reality TV show out of you? And Kris Kardashian upped the ante by, so the same year that Robert died, Kim Kardashian had an infamous sex tape made with rapper Ray J.
Love that one.
Yeah, back
Weird.
in 2003. So it's terrible quality. I've seen it. It looked like a bunch of pixels moving around together.
Mike, out of 69, what did he give it?
There's a good quality on Pornhub.
Dude, it's not Jonathan Sims. That's all I'm
Yes, it's
saying.
not John Sins.
Well,
Unfortunately.
look,
Not Jonathan Sims.
I don't get this fascination with celebrity sex tapes. I never have, because pornography is fantastic.
Regular
women are there-
non-celebrity.
Right.
shit.
John Sins is a good example.
I don't need to know that someone performed somewhere else to make it hot, you know?
Yeah.
So
No,
it's
I
very
get you.
strange to me that like I've watched for example, the Paris Hilton sex tape.
You see the Hulk Hogan one?
I've seen the Hulk Hogan one. That one's great. That one's a top
That's
notch.
just funny.
But because he's the performer, you know. Yeah. But the Paris Hilton one, she's like a cardboard box. Like I don't need. She's
Right. So here's the thing: is like so Kim had made the sex tape the same year that her father was dying, and she was like, Ray J, let's record ourselves fucking because I'm sad.
That's nice.
Yeah. So they had done
Nice
that.
thing to do for your dying father.
They had done that in 2003, and Kris Kardashian intentionally leaked this sex tape. Allegedly, I'm going to use allegedly here.
well,
Legendarily.
her mom having her sex tape. So it's not even that Kim leaked it, but then like her mom leaks it.
Yeah.
Right, and
Mom
Kim had
leak.
been hanging out with Paris Hilton, and Paris Hilton had a bump in her popularity because of the sex tape. So Kris was approached by Ryan Seacrest to do the show, and Kris was like, oh yeah, we'll do it, and then all of a sudden the sex tape comes out. So it was almost like,
Right.
let's get the sex tape out there to get our
Publicity.
names out more. And she used Kardashian, not Jenner, because at the time she was married to Jenner, but she used Kardashian because Kardashian was still in the pop culture ethos because of the whole OJ culture. Whole
Right.
OJ issue. What's also disgusting is Kris Kardashian has explicitly made it clear that she is very Christian, right? Like she aligns with the Christian right.
Look at that.
And she has actually put forward that she, because of our noble leader, great leader, the best America we've ever done.
Yeah, the Great White Hope.
Yeah, she thinks that she can run for president.
Oh.
Oh God.
She has said that because of Donnie Boy, I have enough sway to become president.
You know what, dude? She's not fucking wrong. She's the
I wouldn't
fucking
be
woman
surprised.
we deserve.
Yeah, right?
Sure.
So anyway, I'm going to end this with something beautiful that Kim said. Kim Kardashian, the Kanye West boy. Kanye West butt.
yeah, the Kanye West butt.
Something beautiful that she said at her father's funeral in 2003.
Oh, I'm ready.
On her drive to the graveyard, she said this to a friend. She said, I saw a beautiful rainbow of seagulls flying over her car on the Ventura Freeway, and she knew her father was with her.
Through trash.
She saw a bunch of
eagles.
fucking trash eagles.
And she says, that's my dad.
Yeah, but that is the woman truly meant for the voice of a generation.
Yeah.
But that, my friends, is a story for another day. Hopefully soon.
Oh. Let's get that cease and desist up in this bitch. I want it.
Yeah.
Well, that's it, I guess. Travis,
Thanks for
thank
taking
you.
that. Yeah, taking one for the team.
Thanks, Travis.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for researching that. But also, there's a part of me that goes, "Thanks for wasting my time."
Dude, it's a constant.
Yeah, Travis.
I read this
Fuck.
book, and I'm like, why did you even bother writing this book?
Oh, one
It's
of those.
terrible.
Yeah.
And honestly, Jerry Oppenheimer, thank you for providing fucking research, but like, god damn, dude, find another hobby. Pick up bowling. Like,
Start
I don't know.
podcasting, motherfucker.
Yeah, be like one of us. Fail the right way.
He also wrote a book on the Hilton, so I'm like, oh,
All right.
geez, dude.
Well, that guy's just looking for he's looking for clicks in in a world that doesn't do much clicking.
He might be the owner of BuzzFeed, but you know, that's a trusted news source.
Let me look up this fat piece of shit.
All right, so that is my hot goss. I am so excited to get back to history.
Yeah. With important people.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think my next episode is also going to be hot goss because I got a fat ass book on a historical figure, but I don't know if I'm gonna have time to finish it.
Well, you know, man, you do your best.
You do you.
Well, we've had a few people ask us to do a Kardashian, and literally this was
Really?
the only. Yes, this is the only Kardashian we've been able to do because
right.
he died of sucking too many dicks through his throat, esophageal cancer.
Ah.
I like how we were like, oh, that's a bad way to go, and then we immediately make a joke about going that way.
Dude, it's a terrible way to go.
Couldn't swallow it.
All right.
All right. Well, Cody, how about you take us out again?
All right. Thank you for hanging in there with us. That was Kardashian dregs of humanity. Fun.
Robert, say the name. Say his name.
Say his very important historical...
No, I didn't even mean it that way. I was thinking of Fight Club.
Sure, Travis, thanks.
No, I was thinking of Fight Club, not the other thing that's happening recently. I was thinking of Meatloaf dying.
Okay.
Sure. That guy.
God damn it.
Kardashian, thanks for hanging in. Robert Kardashian, thank you for hanging in there with us. This has been a lovely episode. Check our medias out, the social types. Click everywhere, do the things. Patreon.com/roastmortem. And while we're on that topic, a very lovely thank you to this episode's producer, a very generous man by the name of, is it Sean Beaurain. You are a knight in shining armor. Thank you for ponying up to the producer tier on Patreon. We love you. And I think that's it, guys. It's another one in the books.
We did it. We did another episode.
Harder.
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 A little drunk tonight, aren't we?
Dude, I lost it. So thanks for everyone who were tolerating me.
Thank you for putting up with me reading when I've had 10 Bud Light seltzers. I am the true Post Malone of the show.
Yeah.
You have a good night.
Yeah. Thank you, Shane, everyone.
Thank you. Get us out.
Please tweet at us what I should have in cursive put tattooed on my face. It's the ghost of Christmas Easter. You've made it to the end of the episode, and guess what? We do obituaries sometimes.
Is this one of those sometimes?
This is one of those sometimes. We have 4 different people that were nice to us.
Nice with money at us.
More fathers should just do that. They don't need a friend. They don't need a cool dad. They just need money.
A wallet.
To throw at their children. And they will appreciate that.
As I always say, don't have a child unless you can send them to boarding school and never see them again. So,
you do always say that, yeah.
Yeah. So, who is the first person, first Patreon to become dead?
I'll do it. Can I go first? Let me go first.
Yeah.
First up, our amazing good friend, Nicole Walker, a.k.a. it's Nicole MFers on Twitter. She's also up in our Discord, as Patreons are allowed, and she is quite the silly person, and I love her. We love her. She posted one picture of her dog stealing a Roast Mortem cast branded koozie from her, and little did she know, the dog didn't want that to be a chew toy. The dog, Nicole's dog, I don't know his or her name, but Nicole's dog is a secret Roast Mortem fanatic.
It's weird.
Dude,
Itself,
I love
you know
dogs.
What I mean? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Nicole's like, what the fuck is my dog doing with this koozie if he's not using it for a fucking chew toy? So she follows the dog out into the woods, and lo and behold, the dog has amassed and assembled a Roast Mortem statuesque shrine. And it's got everything, somehow, from all of us, all 4 of us. There's belly button lint from Travis, taquito wrappers from Mike, discarded guitar strings from Tom, and green shirts that I thought went missing in the fucking dryer are all in the shrine. There's
All right.
pictures of us and everything.
Cody,
What's up,
I
Travis?
don't want to blow a hole in your reality.
What?
But
What's that?
Ever since I had this dirty hernia, I can't get belly button lint because it's a huge fucking bubble of organs where my belly button used to be.
So that's probably where this goes wrong, because the dog,
Okay.
the dog bows its head after placing the koozie mid-altar and just starts yapping in fucking satanic tongues, trying to summon his own Roast Mortem. But because it's we now know faux belly button lint from Travis.
Yeah, it was probably my schmegma instead.
The
It's usually
fucking
fuzzy.
ritual. The fucking ritual goes all fucking pear-shaped and wrong. And instead of summoning like Bizarro Roast Mortem cast, it summons a Cerberus type demon. And it's got 3 heads. It's got a Tom, Travis, and Cody head. And Mike, where its balls would be hanging. And it's just like, yeah, the fucking demonic
Nice
multi-headed
balls.
dog. Yeah.
Nice balls, yeah. Very Johnny
Yeah.
Sin looking balls.
Yeah, very smooth.
Demonic beast looks
Sculpted.
up in the sky and just lets a howl out and starts raining bloody shrimp. And in one bounding motion, it does a sick kickflip and crushes Nicole Walker. Rest in peace, Nicole Walker.
Damn.
Your dog has amazing taste, though.
Yeah, and also a bloody shrimp from the sky. What is it? What did I die and go to heaven?
Well, you try this ritual and see how it works out for you then.
Now,
Cool.
does
Rest
that
in
actually
peace.
kill us, though? Did Nicole's dog actually kill us?
No,
by
it has nothing to
accident?
do with us. The dog wanted to summon us, but it summoned like a demonic hellspawn version of us. We're in our respective couches, like just being like, "Oh, that's weird fucking weather we're having right now."
Okay,
Raining
Cody.
crustacean.
All right, I'll give it to you. I mean, the huge hole, another hole there. I mean, I don't sit on couches. I'm always busy. I only have office chairs.
Yeah. Office chairs or bar stool. That's what
Yeah.
Tom. That's what Tom's throne is.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, Mike, tell us about a person that you met on the internet that gives us money.
Yeah. So this guy's name or lady, I think it's a guy.
I think it's a guy too, Mike.
His name is Doug Adams.
Yeah, I think that's a guy.
Yeah, I met one
So I was-
female Doug, and it didn't go well. So anyway,
So I don't know too much about Doug. So I don't know his social media. I think he's an off the grid guy, which I
Social security
respect.
number.
Yeah. So Doug is chilling, doing Doug things, listening to Roast Mortem. And he was like, wow. So Doug's like, wow, I love the sound of Mike's voice. It's so amazing compared to everyone else's voice on the podcast that I would like to donate $1 billion to them right away. So Doug is reaching for his man purse, where he trips down a flight of stairs into a hyperbolic time chamber. He then wakes up 2 million years into the future and is thawed out by cyborg aliens from the Zeta Reticula solar system, where his organs are then harvested for scientific research.
Holy shit!
Whoa. Wow.
So it's all because of you, Mike.
Yeah.
Murderer.
You guys,
enchanted
$1 million
Doug.
voice.
You were
Thank you, Doug.
You were Doug's catcher in the rye.
I guess so. I remember that book's about like prostitutes, right? Or fake prostitutes.
No.
Tommy Tomas, who's the next boy or someone?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because next up is a friend of the show, Bird. We all know Bird.
Bird. Yeah.
Hey,
Bird.
Bird.
Both Bird and Riley came down to my house one time. We had a
Nice guys.
yeah, they were here for a week in New York. These guys are travelers, and Bird is he loves his history. He possibly likes it more than our humor. Anyway, so you got Bird. Bird's a traveling man. He's all over the states. He's been here. He's a West Coast man himself.
He's been everywhere, man.
Right, exactly. So along his travels, this is where the obituary part comes in. Everyone.
Okay.
So he's traveling. He's going across these United States and seeing the places and going to all kinds of protests. Just doing his thing. Where do you go when you're driving around and you need to stop to refuel?
Waffle houses.
Thank you. So he goes to a Waffle House.
Fucking duh.
Got it.
Right. So he hits up this Waffle House and he gets a delicious smothered and covered would be the way I'm predicting he likes his hash brown. So he gets his smothered and covered and he leaves, but he forgets his coat. So he forgets his coat. He's got a nice coat. He's driving down the highway, realizes he's forgotten his coat. Now, back at the Waffle House, there is a 7-foot-tall eagle that walks in and steals the cash register.
Okay.
And Bird is not called Bird because he doesn't look like a bird. He's called that because he looks like a bird. So
Perfect.
this eagle makes off with this cash register, and then just a few minutes later, Bird comes in to get his jacket. Now
I mean, the
they're
boy's got a large wingspan.
yeah,
He
exactly.
does. He really does.
All the employees they're freaking out. They're like, he's back for our taters now. He's gonna get us. But of course, with any venture like this, you have to call the authorities. So the federal wildlife officers have been called to take care of this bird.
Yeah, okay. Makes sense.
So right,
Except not.
yes, Bird is picking up his jacket. He's about to leave, and now he's hands up. And they're like, freeze,
Wings
federal
up.
fish and wildlife.
Do they do that to just animals?
Yeah, they do it
In
to
the
every
wild?
animal. Of course, they do it to every animal. So they put Bird into a cage and they rehab
no.
him,
Done.
which means they just feed him berries for 3 months and a mouse or two, and then at the end of that, they walk him out into the middle of Utah and they try to let him go.
Off a cliff.
But like any federal worker, they're not listening to anyone talking. They're just operating mindlessly. So they kick him out of the cage in the middle of a goddamn desert.
Oh boy.
And now we have a dead bird. My friend is dead now.
oh man.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Government.
Now we have bird jerky because he dried out in the sun.
Rest in peace, bird.
Yeah. All right.
A good
R.I.P.
homie. Let us know when you're coming back to New York.
Yeah,
Yo,
yo.
Bye.
court again. Woo!
All right, and our last person, we have our producer, first
Whoa.
time
Holy fuck.
producer, Sean.
Producer.
Sean, the producer.
Sean. So since Sean is such a high roller, he's a high roller, right? He's a
Yeah, he's up there.
he's a man.
Spicy.
He's done a lot of intelligent things, like donate to our show.
Uh huh.
So
Very smart move.
It's not.
you
It's
know-
not donating. It's pledging. You guys keep using that word donating. It's beyond that.
all right. So he's like, the science people of the world. They all get together and like, this guy needs a TED talk. Straight
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
dude needs a TED talk. He's smart. He does this TED talk, and this is one of the biggest TED talks because all of America's CEOs are there. Like, we got Bill Gates, Vince McMahon, Papa
Jesse
John,
Eisenberg.
Jesse Ventura.
There you go.
Vessi
I don't
Ventura is worth like $40,000.
It's more than me.
Dr. Coca-Cola, the
Dr.
Wendy's
Coca-Cola.
lady there, all the
Her
people.
name is literally Wendy.
No, it's all the people that own America, and they're
The big
listening.
redhead.
Yeah,
Wendy. I said Wendy's.
they're listening with bated breath, sucking in every word that Sean has to say because he's such a genius.
Hot.
So Sean's talking about how you make billions and millions, and you can see the crowd's kind of fading a little bit. Sean, love the guy. He's a genius, but maybe not the most riveting, right? But this might have been a trick because as the crowd's falling asleep, a red button appears on the stage, and he slaps that shit.
Oh, okay. Random button.
All of a sudden, cages come down around the audience
Holy
of
fuck.
these
Oh, no.
of America's most famous CEOs. And at the top of the cage, there's a briefcase, probably like $2 trillion in there. All of a sudden,
Fuck.
a money in the bank situation starts happening.
Well, why
Like
did they let Vince
wrestling.
McMahon in there to begin with?
Well, here's the thing. You shouldn't have let Vince McMahon in because
Oh, he is.
obviously Vince McMahon is going to get the $2 trillion.
It's fucking
He's
fixed.
he's mashing everyone. He climbs up that ladder. By that point, Sean is standing on top of the cage, pleasuring himself by eating cheeseburgers and rubbing his nipples.
That's what I do.
And Vince makes up there. He opens up the case. He's like, "Oh my god, I got my millions." But this is how Vince stays so healthy and fit. He sucked all of the life force out of Sean.
Oh no.
He goes right for the armpit. He puts you in like a sleeper hold and
an
like his little
armpit
vampire.
vampire?
Yeah. Sucks
man.
him dry.
Like cell.
Fuck.
Sucks him
Yeah.
dry. He's basically like a little, what's left is like a Sean, like skin.
skin?
Yeah. And the
Wow.
skin falls down into the pit. And Reggie, none other than Reggie from Nintendo, puts on Sean's skin and runs around saying, "It's a me, Mario."
All right. Well, Sean,
dark.
you and me both, man.
Wow, yeah.
So thank you,
Holy
Sean.
fuck.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sean.
Thanks,
Rest
Sean.
in peace.
Thank you, Sean. All right.
Let's produce some movies later, Sean, with Sins.
Let's get Sins in there. Let's see what Sins wants to do. I got him on the line. All right. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, dog.
Thank you.